You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
What a big night. Here on the NBL Network, we will fill our Season 30 Super Bowl with back-to-back championship weekend action. We appreciate each and every one of you tuning into NBL Live, broadcast number 202 and 203. I am your host, OSU, your NBL Network director, and we have two great games going on tonight. We have our AFC Championship game first, the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, followed up by an NFC North battle for the NFC Championship. It is the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Right there, that's what we're looking for. Yeah, look at that sweet little graphic for the conference playoffs. Again, folks, we appreciate all of you tuning in. Deck and Dog, oh, you're going to be sporting that new fresh-looking tee. No, they just got printed, but they're not here yet. But when we do have them, you better believe we'll be sporting them here on NBL Live. A great game on tap for you, folks. We appreciate all of you tuning in. Let's get to the players to watch for today's game. Before we get there, though, we always got to remind you that NBL Live is brought to you by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They are our graphic sponsor, our pregame sponsor here on NBL Live, and they're doing a great deal right now. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, hit up Web3KS.com. Let them know NBL sent you. All Business will give you 15% off your order. All Business does great work, custom graphics, so you don't want to miss out on that one. Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. All right, let's take a look at the players to watch now. For the AFC Championship game, it is the champions of the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers, taking on the champions of the AFC West, the Los Angeles Chargers. One spot will be filled in just about an hour's time. And if you're looking at the Los Angeles Chargers, there's only one person to look at. And that's Melvin Gordon. And Melvin Gordon continues to have a stellar season. You don't want to say disappointing, but comparative to his 2,000-yard season last year, it is down. 1,574 rushing yards, still led the league, 6.0 per rush, 21 total touchdowns. Stats a little bit down from his unbelievable season last year, but a lot of that has to do with an unsustainable average per rush. He was averaging up over 8 yards per rush last season, down to 6, but he's still an absolute dynamic player. And he's going to test the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. We saw George have a great game in the divisional round. We saw Churfy Gooch get involved. Those are going to be two guys that are going to be key to stopping Melvin Gordon, especially because once he gets past that first level, once he gets past the line of scrimmage, he is so tough to bring down because he has that acceleration. He has the ability to turn a 6-yard run into a 80, 90-yard run. And he's also incredibly difficult to bring down. And so the combination of speed and strength, Melvin Gordon is the best running back right now in the NBL, and there's not even really a question about that. On the flip side, one of the guys who's going to be tasked to stopping Melvin Gordon, but also to getting after the quarterback, making Carson Wentz feel at least a little uncomfortable in the pocket, is, of course, Ryan Shazier, their defensive leader, their middle linebacker. 74 tackles, 6 sacks, and 2 interceptions on the year. And we've seen Ryan Shazier have some injury issues. At times he's been out, and when Ryan Shazier's not on the field, this defense plays differently. A lot of people like to talk about, Madden itself. Is there such thing as chemistry? Is there such thing as, can there really be a defensive leader? I 100% believe there is, because when Ryan Shazier's not on the field, the defense as a whole plays worse. And this is the best Pittsburgh Steelers defense we have ever seen. I'm telling you, they're number one in scoring defense, number one in yardage defense, and that's not usually a strength of this Pittsburgh Steelers team. We saw in chat, somebody tweeted, I think it was Calculated tweeted out, who is here today, that the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is savage, and Lip in chat saying that's the first time his defense has ever been called savage. So he's finally made it, folks. We've got a couple quotes I think we got coming in from the Bleacher Report side, and a big shout out to our Bleacher Report team, Timbo, JY, all those guys over at BR doing such a great job. Lip saying on keys to victories for tonight, we've never been a top defensive team. We achieved that goal this season. Our offense is always confident, but tonight is the biggest test of the year. Melvin Gordon will be the focus of our defense, and we just have to suffocate him. And I think that is absolutely key, folks, because as good as this LA Chargers team is, when Melvin Gordon is good, he is great. Once Carson Wentz has to lead the team, you immediately find their weakness. It is their passing game. And their pass defense has also been a struggle, which is why I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game tonight. More because I don't bet against the Steelers. It tends to work out poorly for me. But if they can contain Melvin Gordon and force Carson Wentz to win the game, the Steelers have a very good shot. From owner Gubb on the keys for the Chargers, they got to be able to create turnovers. We need those turnovers into points. Our offense must be able to stay balanced to keep a dominant Pittsburgh Steelers defense on their heels. And turnovers are a key. There's not a lot of turnover opportunities, so if they do get an opportunity to get a turnover against Ben Roethlisberger, maybe a fumble with Le'Veon Bell, you have to score off them. You can't let those opportunities go by the wayside. We're about ready to go live, folks. We got to get your predictions in the chat. I'll read those throughout the first quarter as the chat is rolling right now. If you're watching us over on the YouTube channel, come on and join us over on the Twitch, twitch.tv/MBL Network. The chat is rolling. That's the chat I'll be watching tonight. AFC Championship game. And again, folks, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game, even with two very good defenses. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth affair. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers in this one. I'm going to go 35-24 in this one. I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to put up a lot of touchdowns through the air. This secondary for the LA Chargers has been, I don't want to say bad, but they're 23rd in the NBL. So I like Ben Roethlisberger to throw 4 touchdowns today. Le'Veon Bell will get involved. I like the Steelers in this one. But let's get ready to get to the game, folks. We have to fill this Super Bowl, and we're going to get one of those spots filled right now. Coming up next, it is the AFC Championship game between two of the most decorated AFC teams this cycle. It is the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network.
And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks who catches it, makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle. It's
Wow. That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. We are live, folks, with a great doubleheader tonight here on twitch.tv/MBL Network. It is championship weekend. Our Super Bowl coming up Saturday night right here on twitch.tv/MBL Network, hosted by our friends over the EA Madden NFL Twitch. That'll be on Saturday night. I believe kickoff's going to be somewhere around 8:40 Eastern time. We'll go live with a special edition of Highly Debatable at 8:15 on YouTube, and then live here on Twitch about 8:35, somewhere around there. Follow us on Twitter at BombLeague for those exact times. But AFC Championship game between two of, as I said, the most decorated teams in the NBL. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers still looking unbelievably for their first title in this cycle. Gubb already has one title to his name with the Washington Redskins last cycle in season 24. Looking for his first one with the Chargers, who seem to be a perpetual participant here in the AFC Championship game. They're just looking to get over that hump and actually win a Super Bowl. As it seems like the Chargers have either stumbled in the AFC Championship game, having to face the Pittsburgh Steelers, what seems like every year is unbelievably difficult. And then when they get to the Super Bowl, they have to go up against the NFC champion, whoever that is. They just haven't been able to get that, but this could be their year for sure. Let's see some predictions in here. Decadog saying Steelers in defensive battle, 28-24. And Isolate saying 35-14 Steelers. 11 saying Steelers 35-17. It's going to be the Steelers with the ball first, and on 1st and 10. Then we hand off to Le'Veon Bell over the left side. He'll get up to the 27-yard line, give him 2 yards on the play. Fish going the other way. Nemo going 28-24 Chargers. Super Lenny going Chargers by 1, Rams 27-17 in a direction. Doesn't really matter. NBM saying more experienced Steelers 24-17. These are the class of the AFC. We talked about collision course for the Chargers and the Lions. Really, I think we all expected the Chargers and Steelers to be here in the AFC Championship game. As it's going to be the Steelers dropping back 2nd and 8, rolling over, and he's going to look underneath, has a man. It's complete. He's got some room down the right side. Uh-oh, breakaway speed. The Steelers up to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Steelers, all the way to the house. The Chargers brought a blitz. And Chauncey Arnold underneath to the house. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. 2 plays. Too much for the Chargers as the Steelers go up 7-0 here on the road. Only 5 men back in defense. They lost Arnold underneath. And goodbye the breakaway speed. 73 yards to the house, and Pittsburgh an early 7-0 lead here on the road. Carney with a nice return up to the 29-yard line. Now we get to see this Chargers offense with Melvin Gordon. It'll be interesting to see how they attack this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. We talked about how good they are. But the Chargers tend, as we've seen on NBL Live, to like to air it out early. They like Melvin Gordon as the shutdown back. Second half, he tends to get the majority of the plays. So they like to try to open it up by throwing with Carson Wentz. And it has gotten them into trouble in the past. Now they're 14-2, so let's see what they decide to do. Is they do give to Gordon on first down to make me look silly. Thanks for that one, old Gub. But Gordon goes down, clutching his back. Fairly innocuous tackle, but this could be a huge development as we'll see what went wrong with Melvin Gordon. Chirfy Gooch with the tackle. Look at him. He's still crawling around on the field. Somebody go get him. Get the trainers out there. As that could be a huge injury. Now 2nd and 3. Carson Wentz. He's in the shotgun. Got McNichols to his right. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. On 2nd and 3, they're going to stay on the ground. Hand it off to McNichols. He is no Melvin Gordon, though. And this Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line is tough to run on. No gain on the play. And now a big 3rd and 2. A nice lady in the chat saying if Gordon is out, that's game. Already calling blouses if Melvin Gordon is out for an extended period of time. 3rd and 2, 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. On 3rd down, they're going to run it with McNichols once again. Makes a nice cut, gets up to the 41-yard line, 4 yards on the play. Still no word on Melvin Gordon, but 3 run plays. They do get a first down. McNichols, definitely a shiftier back compared to Melvin Gordon. Melvin Gordon, no doubt, has that agility. And has the ability to break the run. But McNichols, that smaller scat back, not going to power through anyone. Showed it off there with a nice little juke move to get around his own blocker. Now 1st and 10 for the LA Chargers. Pistol formation. Carson Wentz, his first pass of the game. Blitz picked up. He finds Williams over the middle. A little bit of an inaccurate throw, and it leaves Williams exposed to take a big hit as Melvin Gordon, bruised sternum, will not return, folks. And I don't want to say anything disparaging about MG2K. But you got a bruised chest bone. It's the AFC Championship game. Get back out there, big fella. Come on. Don't sit on the sidelines for that. You're trying to get to a Super Bowl here. 2nd and 6. Hand off to McNichols up the middle. We'll see if they can pick them up as McNichols gets up to the 47-yard line. Couple on play. Going to bring up a big 3rd and 4. Calculated game between 1 play at a time. Next man up. Dooku 123. I'm confused as to why he's going solo on this broadcast. Well, the answer to that one is our usual co-host, Lip, is in this game. Bomber is in the next game. And Sonny is in Vegas. That's our entire network, folks. So this first game is just going to be old OSU running alone. 3rd and 4. Deep pass over the middle. He finds Henry, who makes a man miss. He's up to the 15. Going to get down to the 11-yard line. Oh, Hunter Henry, the tight end. They love using the tight end. 2nd most pass to the tight end in the league percentage-wise. Henry cut in front of it. Looked like Jawaro Forney. Made a cut upfield and gets into the red zone. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Carson Wentz. McNichols in the backfield on 1st and 10. They're going to hand it to McNichols. A lot of guys in the box for the Steelers, but this Chargers offensive line. This will be an interesting test with no Melvin Gordon as to how much of Melvin Gordon's success is due to the fact that they have the best offensive line in the game. And if you look at their stats, you've got a couple 99 run-blocking offensive linemen on this line. The entire offensive line up over 90 overall. We'll see if McNichols can have success, or if it really is just Melvin Gordon is the best running back in the league. Certainly, you know, who doesn't love a one-game sample size? 2nd and 5, hand off to McNichols again, sealed on the outside, and McNichols is into the end zone. Touchdown, Chargers! First drive, they ran the ball 7 times. They only had to throw it twice. The big one on the 3rd down pass play to Hunter Henry. Deep down the field for 40 yards. It is up. It is good. We got a 7-7 tied ball game. The Chargers look like possibly a big blow with Melvin Gordon out, but no problem for the Chargers offense as they find the end zone. Kyle asking who is first. First what? First place? Me. Always first place. I'd actually saying Gub's still going to lose without Gordon. Bomber in the chat saying Champions Club duel. As we come out 1st and 10. Shotgun formation for Ben Roethlisberger. Easy touchdown on the first drive for this high-powered Steelers offense. Play action pass. It's going to be Roethlisberger dropping back. Looks to the out route on the right side. Did he get the feet and bounce? Ah, what a toe tap and catch on the right side of the field. That was Javier Howard, 13 yards. A nice throw by Ben Roethlisberger. Looked like it might have been out of reach, but Javier Howard's really stepped into that number 2 wide receiver role and is having a fantastic season. As now it's a 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be shotgun formation for Ben Roethlisberger. He'll drop back to pass on 1st down. Looking. He's looking deep down the field. He has a man. It is complete. Uh-oh. And Chauncey Arnold to the house again. 2 plays and another touchdown for the Steelers passing attack. 62 yards. Chauncey Arnold showing the breakaway speed, folks. And as I said, if there was one flaw to this Chargers team, it has been their pass defense. 23rd in the NBL. They give up a lot of yards through the air. And so far, Chauncey Arnold, 2 touchdowns, taking advantage of the gaps in the defense. 14-7 your score. Darce Knight saying that's the 3rd 40-plus yard pass this game between 2 teams on 3 drives. As I said, folks, if you were looking for a defensive battle, the Pittsburgh Steelers certainly have a great defense. But the way these offenses play, it is a lot of big chunk yardage. If Melvin Gordon was in, you'd be looking at 60, 70-yard runs. You saw a nice big pass play from Carson Wentz to Hunter Henry. They're going to take what they get underneath, but they're not going to be afraid to take a shot. As this pass to the flat is complete to McNichols into the game for the injured Melvin Gordon. I didn't see who got hurt on that play. It looked like McNichols got up. W-Moto10 saying that guy can run. Yeah, Chauncey Arnold, one of the fastest guys on the outside. Really a weapon for this team. Javier Howard was sort of that slot receiver last season. He slid out to the outside with no Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant on the other side, and Chauncey Arnold has slid into the slot. 2nd and 5, pass over to the left side. Looking for the out route. Great defense out there. That one looked like a predetermined read as it was the left guard, McDaniel. Look at that, 99 overall. He should have returned to the game. Third and 5 for the Chargers. Now, shotgun formation for Wentz. 3 wide receivers. 2 to the right, 1 over to the left. Henry, the tight end in the slot on the right side. Look for him on this play. 3rd and 5. They look for Henry, and they knew right where it was going. It's picked off, and the Steelers defense looking to put points on the board to the 10, to the 5, and a saving tackle there by Perry Sims with the interception. And that, folks, is the one thing you can't do against this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Give them extra possessions, give them great field position. Now the Steelers 3 yards out from extending their lead to a 2-score game. 2:23 to go. It is Bell at the top of the eye. 2 wide receivers. It's going to be Le'Veon getting the carry. Cuts it back up the middle. You can't bring that boy down with arm tackles. One more play. One more touchdown, folks. This Pittsburgh Steelers team, I believe, has run 5 plays, and they have scored 3 touchdowns. As the kick is up, it is good. 21-7 your score. Just pulling up Chauncey Arnold's stat. He's 96 speed, 94 overall, 94 acceleration, 94 route running, and 83 overall, 95 catching, 77 catching traffic. So if there's one thing the Chargers may be able to do to neutralize Chauncey Arnold, because he is going to run a lot of those drags, a lot of those crossing routes. They got to get physical with him and be at the point of attack. If you give him space and allow him to turn it upfield, it's bad news Bears. As he has 4 touchdowns. He had 4 touchdowns in the last 4 games of the regular season. Now 1st and 10 for the Chargers. Toss play to McNichols over the right side. He'll make a man. Oh, nice spin move, but he'll only get a couple on the play. Give him 2 yards. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9. Dooku saying, don't get too confident, Lip. Keep your foot on the gas. Do not let up. Deca saying, Le'Veon, too much. Calculated game. Defense is the only side of the ball that can score and stop scores. 2nd and 9 now for Wentz and the Chargers. It's going to be Wentz dropping back to pass on 2nd down. Looking, and down goes Carson Wentz. Stephon Tuitt into the backfield. A first sack of the day for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And Tuitt, George, Gooch, they are just so tough to hold up, even with a great offensive line. Carson Wentz got to have that clock going off in his head. Got to get rid of that ball quickly. Now 3rd and 15. Looking for a 1st down here because they don't want to give the ball back. Throw over to the left side. He finds Williams. A timing route, a prayer. I don't know what that was, but it was a beautiful pass to Mike Williams and a huge conversion for the Los Angeles Chargers offense. Now 1st and 10. Ball on the 35-yard line. Pistol formation. McNichols in the backfield. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. For the Chargers, it's going to be a handoff to McNichols over the left side. McNichols cannot get the spin move to work that time as it looked like it was Sims who had the interception, gets in the backfield, brings him down for a 4-yard loss. Now 2nd and 14. For the LA Chargers, Carson Wentz in the shotgun. McNichols to his right, 3 wide receivers. He'll drop back here on 2nd and 14. Looking, stepping up in the pocket. He's going to go down once again. Loss of 3. It was Stephon Tuitt creating problems. Had the hitch route open on the left side in that drop cover 3. The hitch route just sort of standing there open. Wentz clearly looking for something else. Now another huge 3rd and long for the Los Angeles Chargers. Wentz going to drop back to pass on 3rd and 17. Looks over the middle of the field. Has Carney. It's a 1st down and more up to the 50-yard line. So, really, the Chargers have proved that 1st and 2nd down, we're not getting anything. But 3rd and long, that's where it's finally time for the offense to get going. Now 1st and 10 for the Chargers as they're at midfield. A touchdown here would certainly make everyone feel a little more comfortable at the home stadium as it's Wentz dropping back on 1st and 10. Looks to the flat. It is complete to the tight end, Henry. They'll get taken down to the 41-yard line. 15 seconds and counting. Superlini in the chat saying, nice pass there. Threading that needle. Little Fish, another good conversion. Dang. 2nd and 1. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Once again for Carson Wentz. He's under center. On 2nd down, it's a play-action pass. He's going to be looking over the top, looking. Churfy Gooch with his, 1st and a half sack on the day. That's 3 sacks now for the Steelers defense. Boy, I hate that play call. Those shot go plays. The only way those really work, again, the Steelers defense is so good. The only ways you're getting those shot plays to work is if they're pressed up, your guys are beating them off the line. It was soft coverage on the outside. It was 2 routes, and this defense is getting after you. Now 3rd and 11. This is where they thrive, though. Stepping up in the pocket is Wentz. He's going for the 1st down. He takes a big hit at the line. Did he get enough? Yes, he did. Because why not? It's 3rd and 11, and it is Chargers conversion time. LAC stands for LA Conversions. As what a big play for Carson Wentz, stepping up and finally taking off and getting that 1st down. Fighting through a big hit, by the way. 1st and 10. Looks like they're setting up a screen. It is well covered. He gets hit as he throws. 6 and 9, 102, and an interception. That interception was really just a bad read by Carson Wentz. Wasn't a bad throw. Now, 2nd and 10 for Carson Wentz and the Chargers. Ball's on the 40-yard line. 5:35 to go here in the 2nd quarter. It's going to be Wentz dropping back to pass without Melvin Gordon. And he's going to go down once again. Churfy Gooch. His 2nd and a half sack on the day. 4th one for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And now 3rd and 16. So you got to think easy conversion. That was a big sack today. It brought him out of field goal range. It would be a 62-yard attempt from here. So you got to think they got to get at least 10 yards. But they're probably looking for a conversion here on 3rd and 16. Looking, rolling, looks over the middle of the field. Why not? It's complete. It's just unbelievable. And it does feel like, though, a lot of this is the Pittsburgh Steelers are having success on first and second down. They're coming after the quarterback. They're really pressing, bringing some blitzes, making Carson Wentz, basically take sacks on first and second down. On third down, they're dropping everyone back into coverage, and Wentz is picking them apart. So if I'm the Steelers, third down, you got to start bringing some pressure. As it's going to be a handoff to McNichols right up the middle. That little halfback, wham, got caught behind his own blocker. He'll get up to the 21-yard line, give him 2 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Now 2nd and 8 for the Chargers. It's going to be Carson Wentz under center. McNichols in the backfield. 3 wide receivers. 2 to the right, 1 to the left. He'll drop back to pass on 2nd and 8. And he's going to take another sack on 2nd down as that was to it. Boy, oh boy, again, that was just a 4-man rush. But on 2nd down, the Chargers are not really helping Carson Wentz because they're calling a lot of these long developing pass plays. And because of that, Pittsburgh's able to get in the backfield and cause problems. That the interior of the Chargers' offensive line is getting eaten alive by Tuitt and by Gooch. Now 3rd and 16. Williams all alone on the left side. If you snap the ball, nope, they're going to let him get set. This looks like it might be a soft man coverage, though, as he drops back to pass on 3rd and 16. And down goes Wentz once again. Back-to-back sacks. 6 sacks on the day for the Steelers. 5 on this drive. The Chargers, though, are going to have to punt this one away with the win. 39-yard line. Yeah, 56-yard attempt with the win thoroughly in their face. So, after a couple great third down conversions, I'm just a little questioning that play calling by the Chargers. They used up a lot of time and get no points on the drive. And, you got to think that being closer to the end zone is the big reason why they weren't able to convert that third down. When they have space to work, they can. As it's a quick pass to the right side to Javier Howard up to the 29-yard line. Roethlisberger, 4 for 4, 167 and 2 touchdowns. That is a stat line, folks. And it's looking like bad news bears right now for the LA Chargers because they have not been able to stop this Pittsburgh Steelers offense. The Chargers offense has stalled with a pick and a punt on their last 2 drives, and they don't have Melvin Gordon. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. For Roethlisberger, he drops back, looks over the middle of the field. It is complete. Jenkins comes up, though, and pries that ball free. The first incompletion of the day. Nice job by Jenkins to lay the lumber in the middle of the field and force a 2nd and 10. Draco joining us in the chat. Welcome to the broadcast, Draco. Owner of the Kansas City Chiefs in the NBL. They had a fantastic season. Thought they were going to get in the playoffs, but got eked out by the Browns in that Week 17 game, and an unbelievable last-second play. But good things are coming up for the Kansas City Chiefs. Watch out for them with James Straseljic at quarterback. That team is set for a couple seasons here. Yep, 2 big touchdown plays, Draco. Both Chauncey Arnold on underneath throws, who then just turned it upfield and showed off the burners. And then a quick 3-yard touchdown off of an interception by Le'Veon Bell. That's how they got 21. The Chargers, first drive, they get into the end zone, but haven't been able to get there since then. Now 3rd and 6. Roethlisberger rolling to the right side, looking for anyone. Dumps it off underneath, but great job by the Chargers to contain that one. And the Chargers finally get a stop on the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Maybe a little momentum for the LA Chargers offense. They're going to need their offensive line, to step up. You got to think Carson Wentz pleading his offensive line to give him more than 2 seconds. I'm all for, when those quarterbacks take too much time in the pocket, you can't really blame your offensive line if you get sacked. This is on the O-line. There's a lot of room on this punt return. This is big, up to the 45 to the 50. He's on the other side of the field, cuts inside. He'll get up past the 33-yard line. What a return there, 67 yards to put the Chargers right back into field goal range. Now it's up to Wentz in the offense to get it going, folks, in the chat. Let me know what you think the Chargers need to do on this drive. Is it run the ball? Is it screen passes? If you're the Chargers, what are you looking for here? 1st and 10. Play action pass, rollout for Carson Wentz to the left side. Oh, boy. Wentz breaks 1 tackle and chucks it out of bounds. What a job by Wentz to break that first tackle and chuck it out of bounds. That man coverage, as Pittsburgh secondary, is staying stride for stride with the LA Chargers wide receivers. Philip Blitz saying, get back to your signature offense. Trust McNichols. Rams Serpent saying, run. Absolutely. McNichols hasn't really gotten carries. He's going to get one here on 2nd and 10, and look at him. Wow, shake off a tackler, showing off a little bit of the Melvin Gordon, and then get the first down to the 21-yard line as we're near the 2-minute warning right there. They've sort of fallen into, I think they had thrown the ball on 8 straight plays. Right there, they give the ball to McNichols, and he gets a nice run. It's not Melvin Gordon, but it works with this offensive line. Their passing blocking clearly not their strength today. Now 1st and 10 for Carson Wentz and the Chargers. He's going to drop back. It's going to be a draw play for McNichols right up the middle. He stays on his feet, and it's another gashing run to the 11-yard line, another first down. And now the Chargers maybe making the Pittsburgh defense think a little hard about what they're doing, because it was a lot of passing there. 21-7, they got into a pass-heavy mode. They've run it the last 2 times. The Steelers dropping back only 4-man rushes, and they've been able to gut them for a couple runs. Now 1st and 10. Let's see what the Steelers defense do. They keep a lot of guys in the box. McNichols on the outside. Oh, young fella, cut it inside. You're in the end zone. Instead, he stays outside, gets tripped on his blocker, and loses 2 on the play. That's a touchdown for Melvin Gordon, but McNichols trying to get outside. Should have stayed inside, though, because he was to the end zone. What a seal on the edge. Fish in the chat saying they need 7 here, no less. Now 2nd and 12. Wentz under center. Big thing is don't turn the ball over. Minute 11 and counting. On 2nd down, it's going to be handoff to McNichols over the right side. He fumbles the ball. Don't turn the ball over, and what do they do right away? It's a fumble, and the Steelers trying to return this one up to the 10-yard line. It was Ryan Shazier who scooped that one up. Only a 3-man rush. Nice run by McNichols. But, boy, you know, I think it was Bomber who said, when you're inside the 30, turn on that conservative ball carrier. And I have started to do it. I found it to be super helpful because, you know, breaking tackles, not as, it's huge when you're back at your own 30-yard line. You're looking for a big 70-yard scamper. But when you're inside the 30, you're looking to just keep the ball and not give them an extra possession. And now they do. And look at this. The Steelers on one play are going to gash you to the 34-yard line, 24 yards on the play. They're going to hurry back to the line. Now, 1st and 10, shotgun formation for Ben Roethlisberger. 46 seconds and counting. He'll drop back to pass. Dump it off underneath to Chauncey Arnold, who is having what one could say is a real nice ball game right now. 2 long touchdowns on the day for Chauncey Arnold. He has been able to get into space. 3 catches, 142 yards. Yeah, it was something I hadn't thought about. Again, I do 100% think those gameplay adjustments. There's some tweaking that has to happen, but I think they're a great addition to the game. Just telling your running backs, hey, hold on to the ball here. Don't try to break tackles. Don't do anything too special. It's so big inside the 20-yard line because those turnovers are taking points off the board. Chargers, even if they only get a field goal here, are going into halftime down 2 scores, and it's 2 scores with a field goal. Now Pittsburgh has an opportunity to put them up 3 scores. 35 seconds ago, nice pass to the outside. 21-7 your score, folks. AFC Championship game, NFC Championship game following up right after this one. You don't want to miss that one here on the MBL Network. As Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking over the middle of the field, this one looked like a floater, and right there, Sanford picks it off, and a big opportunity here. Sanford returns this up past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Just looked like a dead duck in the air, folks. Roethlisberger looking deep down the field, saw what he saw, that skinny post, but too much air under that one. Easy pick. And the first mistake from Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Chargers, 25 seconds. They've got all 3 timeouts. Let's see if they try to press it with Carson Wentz. Hasn't been the most reliable quarterback in the NBL, but he has been a game manager with Melvin Gordon. But Wentz is going to have to play the best game of his life today after Melvin Gordon went out on his first carry. Now 1st and 10. It's going to be Wentz dropping back to pass on 1st down. Looks underneath, and they are really recognizing that Hunter Henry is a major target for the LA Chargers. You see that usering lip with the user on Hunter Henry. And at the end of the day, he's going to have to find his receivers. Both Williams on the outside. Look for Carney in the slot. 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation for Wentz. 3 wide receivers. He'll drop back to pass. Only a 3-man rush, and they're still getting some pressure deep down the field for Williams. And Williams goes up for the catch and gets upended and drops it. Oh, boy. Went for the miracle play and almost took his own head off. Now 3rd and 10 for the Chargers. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and they're just going to hand this off to Perry into the game. 3rd string running back. He'll get up to the 11 he'll get up 11 seconds left. Timeout taken by the Pittsburgh Steelers up to the 29-yard line. Steelers take that timeout. Maybe they can get something going on the punt return. We already saw one long punt return by the LA Chargers. As they're going to punt this one away, and this one is going to be taken heels on the 18-yard line. And Green Beckham comes up, makes a nice tackle. 3 seconds to go. You got to think Pittsburgh's going to kneel this one out. Going halftime up 14. I'm following the NHL playoffs on my phone. Only disadvantage of NBL playoffs being right now is I want to watch the NHL playoff games, so. 1st and 10. 2 wide receivers over the left side. On 1st down, they're just going to run a counterplay with Le'Veon Bell. Good job by the Chargers to stop that one. And we're going to go into halftime. 14-point lead for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if there's hope, the Chargers are going to get the ball to start the second half. In the chat, guys, go ahead and let me know what you think the keys to the second half are for both teams. As Carter's going to take this one up to the 30-yard line. If I'm looking for the LA Chargers, it is stick with your game plan. McNichols is having a nice game. I know he fumbled inside the 10-yard line, but he took a big hit. You got to stick with the game plan. Keep the ball on the ground as much as possible. You're having success. It's not really been bottled up. It's been real nice. 2 tight ends out there for Carson Wentz. He drops back, a little skinny post play. He finds Williams, who gets obliterated in the middle of the field, but holds on to the ball at the 47-yard line. Nice 1st down play there. Real easy read, and I think for the Chargers, for Carson Wentz, get quicker route. That's a nice one, but, you know, trust your drags, trust your flats, because this Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line is eating on the inside. And right now, look, they're looking for a little quick slant here. On 1st and 10, jammed up at the line, but they're able to find Williams, who makes a nice catch. Yeah, trust your wide receivers. If you're going to run pass plays, keep them quick, because the long developing ones are not working with the Steelers' defensive line. Gooch and George on the interior. If I'm Pittsburgh, I think I can't remember who said it, but keep your foot on the gas. The last thing you want is to sit back. We've seen the Steelers get big leads and give them up because they get a little soft. They run the ball a little too lackadaisically, and then you're ended up with a comeback on your hands. As Wentz all the time in the world, he's got to go. He rolls out to the left side, gets up to the 40. He's going to get to the 35 and go out of bounds at the 34-yard line. I'm not going to lie. I had just a minor stroke right there. Because usually, you know, with a co-host, I got pushed to talk on. I end up hitting the shift button and then letting go of it. But because it's just me, I've been holding it the whole time. And for a brief moment during that last play, couldn't remember if I was holding the shift button or not. So it's all right. Just losing my mind a little bit here as Wentz rolls out. Rolling, looks deep down the field. Sends a man on the playmaker. That was Henry down the field, but he couldn't come up with the catch. And now a huge 3rd and 6 for the LA Chargers. Yes, it was Dooku. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, keep your foot on the gas. Good call. Dak is saying the first drive here for the Bolts, either make a statement here to gain some momentum or start packing the bus. 3rd and 6 for the Chargers. It's going to be hand off to Perry over the left side. The blocking is out there, and he's got a 1st down and more on pass the 20. Ah, what a spin move by Perry, who I think tried to intimidate him after the spin move. He was still absolutely in bounds and gets to the 4-yard line. A huge play. Usually, you got to look out for the Chargers on 3rd down. They love running the ball in situations where you think it's going to be a pass. A big run there for the 3rd string running back, Perry. Now 1st and goal. McNichols back and running back. I love that spin move. I love the intimidation afterwards. Just staring him down as McNichols gets up to the 2-yard line. Perry, you're still in bounds. Keep running. Yeah. Go. Oh, man. 2nd and goal now for the Chargers. 2 yards out from making this a 1-score game. 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver out there. And on 2nd down, they're going to pass it. Wentz looks back at the end zone. It is complete to the tight end, Balogun. And just like that, the Chargers right back in this ball game. They get the ball to start the second half. They find the end zone. A little bit of magic on the ground and some real nice play calling right there. The kick is up. It is good. It is a 1-score game, 21-14. A spot in the Super Bowl on the line, the AFC Championship game here on the NBL Network. Also, we're in this weird spot. It's been basically 30 degrees in Michigan since what appears to be 1997. Today it's 75 degrees. So my house is about 1,000 degrees right now as the pass over to the right side. It is complete to Martavis Bryant. Haven't called his name today. Up to the 47-yard line. It's about 1,000 degrees because we had to turn the air conditioner on for the first time. I looked at the thermostat when I stepped in the room. It's a balmy 78 in this room right now. So, old Tubby over here is sweating away. 1st and 10, folks. There we go. Don't forget, web3cast.com. Our graphic sponsor, and they are our pregame sponsor here on NBL Live. Big fans of web3cast.com. Do a ton of great graphics for us. Again, if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, hit up web3cast.com. Let them know NBL sent you. They'll give you a 15% discount on your order. Whether it's for your own stream, whether it's for a friend's stream, whether it's you just want a really cool graphic made, web3cast.com are the leaders in affordable graphic design. 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Quick pass to the outside. It is complete. Bell cuts inside. Couple spin moves. The spin cycle rolling. He'll get 6 yards on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 4. Yeah, old Tubby. Look, I got called fat for the first time in like 7 broadcasts last time. I'm just staring into the skid at this point. 2nd and 4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers shotgun formation. For Ben Roethlisberger, he'll drop back to pass on 2nd down. Looking for the tight end in the seam. Sanford comes over and makes the hit and pries the ball free. And what a great job there. Guys out there who are looking how to use her on defense, watch that play. It's a Tampa 2. They're running the seam right up the middle. That's the play that works. But the user recognizes, holds the linebacker, backs him up with that route to the top of the zone, which is where you're allowed to in the NBL. And the minute the ball is left, switches to the safety and comes over and makes the big hit. That's how you defend the seam routes against defenses that tend to give up the seam route. 3rd and 4. Bell to his right. It's going to be Roethlisberger dropping back, looking, and he'll toss this underneath. It is complete once again. That was Javier Howard with the catch at the 22-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Steelers. At cover 3 hard flat, just doesn't take away the middle of the drag, though, enough. Now 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, knocking on the door at the 22-yard line. Yeah, 10 and 13, 268, and 2 touchdowns for Ben Roethlisberger. Hand it to Le'Veon Bell. Perriman pries the ball free. A huge turnover as Holloman picks it up, and that a huge turning point in the game. The 2nd turnover in as many drives for the Steelers. The big hit comes up the middle. And once again, we talk about turning conservative on inside the 30-yard line. I bet you Lip is wishing he did that because Bell put the pigskin on the ground, and the Chargers have new life. First and 10, Fox coming to motion from the right to the left. 3 tight ends out there. McNichols in the backfield. He'll get the carry. Goes to the left side. The blocking is good. Oh, man, what a job of just getting off the block there to bring him down because McNichols might have been gone. It's a 1st down to the 38-yard line. The crowd is rocking in L.A., folks, and we still got one more game on the schedule. You don't want to miss that. It is the NFC Championship game between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, and that one should be a fantastic game between 2 teams who have gone back and forth. But we still got a good one here. Get your friends here, folks. Get your mom here. Get your grandma here. Even if they don't know what we're doing, just get them over here because this should be a great finish to the game. Wentz dropping back. Blitz coming. Picked up well, but no one open. Wentz rolls out and is going to chuck it out of bounds. We are seeing Wentz do that more, though. His completion percentage has dropped a little bit because he's taking those sacks less in the 2nd half, being smarter, that clock going off in his head, and roll into the left side and making sure he chucks it out of bounds. Dirty Falcon joining us in the chat. Welcome, Dirty Falcon. Got a good one. This is just an absolutely great game. Now 2nd and 10. Wildcat formation, unisolated twitching in the chat, I assume. And it's going to be McNichols keeping it, trying to be patient on the right side, but no hole opens up. He'll get 2 on the play. As Ballion, the tight end, went down with some bruised ribs. We'll see if he returns. But Bud Dupree coming in and making the tackle on that play. Going to bring up a 3rd and 8. Now 3rd and 8 for Wentz, and the Chargers looking for another big 3rd down conversion. 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, Henry on the right side of that formation. And it's going to be Wentz dropping back to pass, 4-man rush. Looking, lots of time. Deep throw to Williams, who gets position and makes the catch on the right side. Oh, what a job there, getting Williams in position and making the catch in front of the corner. The Chargers hit a big play down to that 23-yard line. And I said, I've stopped it more than it's beaten me, just not on live. That's what I mean. We're on live. I don't care about Wildcat in games that nobody's watching, but people are watching now. It's NBL Live. I'm just saying. 1st and 10. The Wildcat has beaten a lot of people. It's beaten me. 1st and 10. Counterplay from McNichols. He never got outside. He tried to follow his pulling blocker. Nothing doing there. Loss of 1 on the play. Going to bring up a 2nd and 11, folks. And don't forget, coming up at the end of this game, we'll have our play of the game selection for NBL Live. This is broadcast 202 on the NBL Network. And we'll also have one for 203 for that following NFC Championship game. That's coming up after this one. Now 2nd and 11. It is Wentz looks on the middle of the field, finds Henry, had some room, got some separation, and gets inside the 5-yard line to the 4. Oh, those of you who were calling blouses on this game, the LA Chargers had something to say about that, as they have cut it to a 1-score game. They're 4 yards out from tying this ball game up. Now 1st and goal, 2 tight ends out there for Carson Wentz. McNichols in the backfield. Williams, the only wide receiver out there on 1st and goal. It's going to be handoff to McNichols over the right side. The blocking is good. Oh, yeah, that's just another one. That's a touchdown. I could have gotten in the end zone there. The hole was huge, but he just gets caught on his own blocker and gets taken down at the 1-yard line. Heavy formation, the old me formation. 3 tight ends out there. Hand off to McNichols. Again, cut upfield. He is in the end zone, but instead goes outside and gets tackled. And now they're going to have to convert a 3rd and goal after losing 2 on that play. Third and goal. Huge moment here for the Chargers. 19 seconds and counting in the 3rd quarter. Once again, 3 tight ends. 2 to the right, 1 over to the left side. McNichols at the top of the eye. Looks like they're going to just run the ball again. They hand it to McNichols. He gets caught on his own blocker and is stopped at the 2-yard line. And the Chargers don't get in the end zone. And that one's on McNichols. That one is on some poor controlling. Double A saying Governor stop holding right trigger as soon as the running back gets the ball. Yeah, I'm just saying. It was 3 runs. The last one less so, but the first 2 are walk-in touchdowns. And just poor gameplay. That's all it is. Yeah, the horrible vision. Bomber saying go for it. Nope, the Chargers are going to take the points on this one. And trust their defense, who has gotten stops in the last 2 drives, by the way, of the turnover. 1 on the fumble, 1 on an interception at the end of the half. That did end up turning into any points, but... Calculated game saying Pittsburgh had a goal line stop last week. This Pittsburgh defense, again, if you're looking for the Pittsburgh defense of past cycles where the defense was by far the weak point and Pittsburgh was going to try to outscore everyone, looking for 45-38 game. Those games are now 45-10. That's how good this Pittsburgh Steelers defense has been. Offense letting them down a little bit today with 2 turnovers. And LA has made a couple huge plays, including that 3rd down conversion, the deep pass to Williams on the right side. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Ben Roethlisberger. He's got Le'Veon Bell in the backfield. 7 in the box for the Chargers, 2 high safeties. It's going to be a toss play to Bell, and they ran right into the teeth of the defense, and what a job. We haven't talked about the Chargers defensive line. This Chargers defensive line is ridiculous, with Malik McDowell on the line, with, of course, Joey Bosa. Holloman's having a great game, fumble recovery and 2 tackles. They are a tough bunch to run against, and Bell hasn't had a whole lot of carries. That is the Pittsburgh Steelers game plan. It's not really a Le'Veon Bell. It is air it out and let Bell close it out. But they just haven't had an opportunity to really break this one open. They've turned the ball over twice when they had that opportunity. Roethlisberger, deep down the middle of the field, diving catch. Could have been a car crash, but instead Henry comes up with the catch at the 47-yard line. It's a 1st down for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes, Darce Knight, did you see that right? Only 4 yards for Bell. Yes. Not uncommon. Not uncommon from the Steelers team. They do not rely on Bell until the 4th quarter. That's when he gets a lot of his yards. 1st and 10. Chargers change up the defense. They survey this empty backfield set for Ben Roethlisberger. He drops back, 4-man rush, looks underneath. It is complete to, I believe that was DeAndre Washington with the catch. Up to the 41-yard line. Washington, of course, coming over from Oakland as the backup running back. Got some playing time when Le'Veon Bell went down with injury this season. Was not effective. Only 2.8 yards per carry, I believe. So they were happy to get Bell back. 2nd and 4. It's Roethlisberger dropping back. Blitz coming up the middle. Oh, what a job in the middle of that defense. Jumping up and batting that one away. Gotta love seeing linebackers getting their hands in the way of the passing lanes. Now a big 3rd and 4 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And folks, remember, stick with us. We've got the NFC Championship game coming up right after this. Lions and Vikings, 3rd battle of the season. These two teams actually did face off. The Chargers won relatively handily. I believe it was 32-14, but there was no Le'Veon Bell in that game, and it showed on the field. When you take out Bell, Pittsburgh becomes truly one-dimensional. At least you got a game plan for Bell when he's on the field. I know they don't run it with him as much as a lot of their fans would like to see, but with Le'Veon Bell's on the field, you can't only run 3-man sets and drop 9 into coverage. So when he was out, the Chargers defense really ate against Ben Roethlisberger. He drops back 3rd and 4, looks deep down the middle of the field, has a man wide open, and a big catch down to the 14-yard line. Another dot thrown by Ben Roethlisberger, 330 yards passing on the day as Javier Howard crossed the 80-yard threshold. 5 catches on the day, and Pittsburgh back in business inside the red zone. Last time they had it this deep, it was a fumble by Le'Veon Bell. We'll see what happens here. The Chargers defense needing a stop. It seemed like they had that opportunity, and they weren't able to get the touchdown. They need to stop bad to keep this a one-score game. As Bell gets the carry over the right side, he'll lose 2 on the play. 7 carries, 2 yards, a touchdown for Le'Veon Bell. Going to bring up a 2nd and 12. Rams, why cover 2, though? Part of it might be the fact that they've been beaten by Howard underneath. They've been beaten by Chauncey Arnold underneath, and they really wanted to make Roethlisberger make the deep throw. 2nd and 12. Look, there it is. It's an underneath throw to Chauncey Arnold, but right there, great discipline, great tackling by Jenkins, able to bring him down, and now a 3rd and 11. Less room now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we see a lot of offenses start to struggle when they get inside the red zone because we know so many teams are so good with the deep pass once you have to spread out the defense. Now the defense all bunched up. Everyone's basically in the box, and you got to get more creative with your play calling to find the end zone. 3rd and 11, 3:34 and counting. Roethlisberger drops back to pass, looks to the flat, and is complete to Le'Veon Bell. Real conservative play there, not looking to turn the ball over, get your field goal, and trust your defense to get the stop on the LA Chargers as they will attempt field goal from the 13-yard line. 30-yard attempt from the right hash mark. Ball is snapped. Kick is up. It is good. The Chargers are going to get the ball back. 3 timeouts left. 3:17 to go. They need a touchdown to tie up the AFC Championship game. Yeah, a lot of guys talking about how important it was to hold them to a field goal, make sure it doesn't get to a 2-score game. Darshide saying, doesn't seem like he's keeping that foot on the gas. I don't know. We'll see what the defense does here. I mean more defensively. We've seen the Steelers really back off of the heavy blitzing plan. They were getting so much pressure with their down linemen that they stopped blitzing, and the linemen have been able to pick up those blockers a little easier here in the second half. Now 1st and 10. It's Wentz looking. He looks over to the left side. Quick out route to Williams. Good coverage, but a better throw by Carson Wentz. 13 of 21, 229, a touchdown, 1 interception, and the Chargers up to the 39-yard line. 3:04 and counting. It's coming down to the wire, folks, and don't forget, we have our Super Bowl broadcast Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern Time, roughly is when we'll go live here on the NBL Network, hosted by our friends over at the EA Madden NFL Twitch. 1st and 10, it's a handoff to McNichols over the left side. Not a whole lot there. No gain on the play. He's gotten 20 carries. We saw him go away from McNichols for a while. They went back to him, and that's when the success for the offense really started. 2:41 and counting, folks. Can't forget the run game. 2nd and 9, shotgun formation for Carson Wentz. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 over to the left. Hunter Henry in the slot. McNichols to the left of Wentz as he changes up the play, surveying the Steelers' defense. He drops back on 2nd and 9, drops back, looks over the middle. There's a lot of traffic there. It's picked off. I don't know what he saw there, but that was a horrendous read as there were 3 Pittsburgh Steelers in that double buzz drop. It was such a good play. 4 verts. You had possibly somebody over the top with no high safety. Instead, he looks underneath for his safety blanket, Hunter Henry, and Jawara Forney comes up with a pick, and that for sure could be blouses. One of the worst decisions we've seen late game They still got 3 timeouts, but they're going to have to stop. And now Le'Veon Bell's second level, 30-25, up to the 22-yard line, 2:16 and counting. They're in field goal range, folks. It's bad news for the Chargers, who once again look like they are primed to fall short of another Super Bowl title. 14-2, they have run the AFC West, but it's been the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been the NFC champion. They've gotten to a Super Bowl, haven't been able to win it. I mean, it was the Giants. It just seems like they don't have that killer mentality, and a lot of it comes down to the pass game. We've seen Melvin Gordon have great seasons. Again, the run game was still very good today with McNichols. A lot of people thought it would be way over, but McNichols held his own. But the problem with life here in the NBL is you've got to be able to throw the ball at some point, especially when you're down and when you face a team that puts you down. This team, I mean, you look at 2 fumbles. You look at, 2 interceptions. They're the difference in this game. Pittsburgh turned the ball over twice, which is not something you see. And they weren't able to convert on those. They got 1 field goal. Only 3 points off of turnovers, which we said was a key in the beginning. And then they turned the ball over a couple times. 1 late here, which is probably going to seal the game up as the Chargers use their first timeout. And another one that got returned to the 3-yard line and turned into 7 points for the Steelers. That's your ball game, folks. Hand off to Le'Veon Bell, who needs to go that way. Stay right. Stay right. 4th and 12. LA uses their second timeout, and they're going to need a block here. Look for Green Beckham coming off the edge here from the 24-yard line. A 41-yard attempt from the Chargers. Oh, he got the timing, and he blocked it, and it's picked up by the Chargers. Stanford has some room on the left side. He's up to the 40, to the 30, to the 20. The prayers were answered for the LA Chargers. Special teams blocked by Green Beckham, and they're 1 point away from tying it up. Ball's down, kicks up, tied ball game here in LA. The miracle was answered as the special teams coming up with a block. But now you look at Pittsburgh, 1:43 to go. The offense has not been stopped a whole lot. We did say there was 1 interception. It was late in the half on a deep throw by Ben Roethlisberger. Oh no, the special teams, they're going to return this all the way out to the 32-yard line. The fumble by Bell inside the 30-yard line. But Pittsburgh only needs a field goal here. LA only has 1 timeout. So if Pittsburgh gets into field goal range, what they've been able to do at will, it should be game over. As I said, saying, yeah, shaking my head lip, you got to go perfect kick there. Can't risk a block. I do love that addition, by the way, to the game. Enticing people to try to kick full power. Get the perfect kick. You can't get that timing. But a big blocked field goal return for a touchdown. 24-24 your score. Roethlisberger stepping up into the pocket. Oh, maybe a little shook here as Holloman gets the sack. First sack on the day for this Chargers defensive line that has been so talented. 1:25 and counting. They only lose 3. Going to bring up a 2nd and 13. Great timing on that 3 double bloods. The 2 safeties coming down really take away that seam middle, sort of very skinny post. And then the linebacker dropping back deep over the top. A great play to take away if you got guys beating you up the seam. It's those buzz plays where the safeties come down. Hard to throw seam routes against. 2nd and 13. It's Roethlisberger dropping back, only a 3-man rush. Looking over the middle of the field. Has a man. It is caught. The possession catch to the 41-yard line. Timeout taken by the Steelers. 53 seconds to go. It would be a 58-yard attempt here. Dooku saying, don't panic. Plenty of time. Darcy Knight saying Steelers need to be worried about leaving too much time on the field at this point. That's not going to happen. LA only has 1 timeout. If Pittsburgh gets anywhere in field goal range, you're going to see a couple runs, maybe a kneel down just to make sure there's no fumble, and then they'll kick that field goal. It would surprise me if LA gets the ball back unless Pittsburgh hits something over the top for a touchdown. Then they'll trust their defense to stop the LA Chargers. Blitz coming. Free rusher. Roethlisberger just gets rid of it. Oh, man, they're lucky. Both teams are lucky. The Steelers lucky that one got out of his hands and it was an incomplete pass. The Chargers are lucky because Martavis Bryant was running on a post on the left side and was all sorts of open. 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's Roethlisberger dropping back to pass on 2nd down. Looks over to the right side. Oh, he made a mistake. He finds Verrett. Oh, no. Oh, what a bad throw. And the LA Chargers may be clutching victory from the jaws of defeat. Touchdown! touchdown Chargers. The defense scored, and LA is primed to go on to the Super Bowl when it looked like they were down and out off a bad throw by Carson Wentz. Roethlisberger gifts one back, and the Chargers take the lead. Oh, what an unbelievable collapse, folks. If Pittsburgh doesn't find a way to get in the end zone, we'll be talking about this collapse for a long time. Pittsburgh was primed. They had a field goal to go up 2 scores with under the 2-minute warning. It gets blocked in return. And then, if you thought the Wentz read was bad, that one was even worse as it's a bad throw. And the Chargers go up 31-24. 37 seconds left. Pittsburgh's got 2 timeouts, though. Yeah, Timbo saying Lips got to be sick. That had to be the wrong back. You had to think that wasn't where that throw was going. Just because of how it came out of the hands, it was that real lofty touch pass on the right side. There was no chance of that getting caught. You had to think that was. This is the NBL, folks. This is how it happens. People make mistakes, and other teams come up with big plays. This throw over the middle, it is complete. I believe that was Bryant with the catch down to the 49-yard line. Pittsburgh uses their second timeout. They're 49 yards away. They need a touchdown. The question will be if Pittsburgh if they do score. And there's still a lot of time left. We'll see if the Chargers defense can come up with a big stop here. But if the Pittsburgh Steelers do fall, folks, post in the chat if you think that the Steelers should go for the win and go for 2. 3 high safeties here on 1st and 10. It's Roethlisberger rolling to the right side. He's got a man going to the sidelines. He finds him. It is complete. Oh, it's Le'Veon Bell. The halfback on the left side comes all the way across and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. 24 seconds to go, and they're in the red zone. Bell's 3rd catch on the day. What a job there by Ben Roethlisberger, finding Le'Veon Bell all the way across the field and getting out of bounds to save that timeout. Yeah, absolutely. Expert 2, I say far from over. A lot of time left. 19 seconds to go. Roethlisberger's in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left. Or excuse me, 2 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 tight end on the right side. Looks to Henry in the end zone. Had him! And he looked the wrong way. I don't know if that was Henry. That might have been the other tight end. But he had him. He had him on the seam. And if it's thrown to the inside, that's a touchdown. It's thrown to the outside, and it's an incomplete pass to the back of the end zone. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10, folks. What a game on NBL Live. We got 1 more to go. Hopefully the NFC Championship game can live up to what this game has been. Again, we'll be going live with that one as soon as this one is over. Second and 10, Roethlisberger dropping back to pass. 3-man rush. Stepping up in the pocket. Looks underneath. It is complete to Martavis Bryant. You got to think they're going to use their last time out here. Okay, 14 seconds to go. They're on the 7-yard line. And we're looking at a repeat of something we saw a team come up a half a yard short of a victory. Because if they get tackled in bounds, this ball game is over. So they got 3 shots at the end zone. You got to think the Chargers are going to play tough. Lots of cover 2 you got to expect. The Chargers love that cover 2 invert here, or a cover 2 where Gubb uses the middle linebacker. So Pittsburgh got to be looking to the outsides. Do they dare chance a jet sweep? Do they dare chance a screen here? They're in that 4-4 lineup, so look for the cover 2 invert here. Shotgun formation, empty backfield for Ben Roethlisberger. He drops back to pass, 4-man rush, looking, and he takes a sack. That's what you can't do. 9 seconds. Will they have time to get the ball off? 8 seconds, 7 seconds. They've got to hurry the line. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are they set? No, they're not! The Chargers are going to win! Oh, he takes a sack! Only the 2nd sack of the day! And it ends the game. The Chargers will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. A heartbreaking collapse. A choke job by the Pittsburgh Steelers, who had a kick to go up 2 scores with under 2 minutes to go. It gets blocked. It is taken to the end zone. Roethlisberger throws a bad pick. The Steelers have a chance to tie the game up. And he takes a sack with no timeouts remaining. And that is your ball game. Oh, talk about clutching defeat from the jaws of victory for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But what a job by the LA Chargers, never giving up on this one and finding a way to get to the Super Bowl. What an unbelievable game here on NBL Live as the Steelers fall 7 yards short of tying this ball game up. The Chargers are your winners, 31-24, your final score. It's time for NBL Live player of the game here for broadcast number 202. And for me, it's Dorial Green Beckham. That block on the field goal was what turned this game around. That's all it is. Dorial Green Beckham came around the edge, got that block, was able to time that up and get it. Scoop scored touchdown, and that got the confidence going. McNichols had a very nice game. Absolutely dark night. McNichols and pass protection changed the game in the second half for them. But you got to go with the big play, the play that changed how this game really changed the outcome. And that's Dorial Green Beckham blocking that one. He'll get to the end zone. He will be your NBL Live player of the game. Full broadcast number 202. And you can check out all of our NBL Live player of the game selections on our website at 365.maddenbomberleague.com, all the way back to broadcast number 1. What a game to kick off championship weekend. The Chargers representing the AFC. And we got one more ball game to go. We'll do a quick pregame here. I think I have somebody now joining me in the chat. Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
What a game.
What a game. Holy smokes. What a game. Unbelievable.
And first question I got to ask, did anything break?
Oh, absolutely not. No, Gubb's an amazing player in NBL, and this is literally why we play this game, why we put so much work into this. That was fun. I mean, come on, guys. That was thrilling. Like, I can't imagine watching that. That was so nerve-wracking for me playing it, and we came up short. Gubb killed us on third down.
Yeah.
A
couple third and longs. I couldn't believe how many he converted.
Absolutely, and that was the biggest thing. It wasn't, the block field goal happened, and we made some mistakes elsewhere, but the third downs, Gubb just executed perfectly, killed us in those big situations, and played a great game. And I wish him the best in the Super Bowl. And I'm ready to watch this NFC Championship game. And I'm not letting you call another game alone.
Thanks, buddy. I needed that. I mean, again, I think the answer is if you want to see what the NBL is all about, as Fitness and Gaming now following here on Twitch, appreciate the follow. If you want to see what NBL is all about, that's it. There are a lot of leagues where. And even in this league, you see sort of the similar teams getting to the conference championship games, getting into the playoffs. But truly, it's any given Sunday. We've seen unbelievable finishes. We saw Zach DeManch in Week 17 take an 80-yard touchdown to get the Browns into the playoffs. We saw the Browns then come up a yard short. We saw this game. Every game has been unbelievable, and that's true whether it's the playoffs or whether it's Week 5. That's what NBL is all about.
Absolutely. Those games are... there's been a couple that you will never forget, and I can go back to that Browns-Steelers game that we played in, and it was another one just like that. It just comes down to the last couple of plays. I think me and Gubb last season had a game that came down to literally the last play, and here we are again, and that's so much fun. Like, it's so special to see, and it's intense for everybody watching, playing, calling. It's really an amazing thing, and I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Well, I'm absolutely spent. I'm gonna take a nap during this one, so you can call this bad boy alone. Good luck, buddy.
I can't call games alone unless you want everybody to go to sleep. Well, I'm a good NyQuil kind of caller.
Well, here's the thing. The way I think everyone is emotionally spent after that first one. Everyone might be asleep. We don't know, but we've got one more game to go here on the NBL Network. NBL Live broadcast now 203, the NFC Championship game to fight for the right to play the LA Chargers. It is an NFC North battle between the Minnesota Vikings, who got in on the wild card, and the Detroit Lions. And Lip, this Minnesota Vikings team has really been a thorn in the side of the Detroit Lions. They got to play them twice a year in the division, and if there's one team you sort of go, I like their chances to beat the Lions, it's Hop and the Vikings, because they have been able to do it a couple times.
Yeah, the biggest thing about the Vikings for me has always been that they play so tough in the regular season. The Lions are such a great team, and the Vikings play them tough during the regular season, but then whenever it comes playoff time, the Vikings kind of look forward to this matchup too soon, and they kind of get out of the playoffs early, and they just never really get there. And I just don't understand. But this year they seem to have changed a little bit of their mindset. But the big thing for me is they're 26th against the pass on defense. Now, that's not good when you're going against the Detroit Lions and Matt Stafford, who threw for almost 5,500 yards this season, 45 touchdowns, and only 16 interceptions. Yeah. So they're going to have to pay extra attention to the little things tonight and really make Stafford uncomfortable, because that's where they can get the ball back and then play their style, which has been a strong offensive game this season.
Again, folks, if you're watching us over on our YouTube channel, we appreciate you guys tuning in. If you want to interact with us, we're over here on the Twitch, twitch.tv/MBL Network. You're welcome to stay over there, keep watching on YouTube. But if you have a Twitch, join us over here. That's the chat we'll be watching throughout this game. Let's take a look at the players to watch for today's game between the Lions and the Vikings. For the Detroit Lions, it's by far the most explosive player, maybe in the league. It's Harvey Beckham, HB18. 1,700 yards receiving this season, 79 receptions, 13 touchdowns. This guy's a matchup nightmare. You put him in man coverage, you can't stay with him. In zone coverage, he finds a way to find the holes in the zone. He's the explosive player, and if Harvey Beckham has a 100-yard game, it's hard to stop this offense.
Yeah, he's developed so nicely, and a lot of people, whenever he came out at 5'9", they knew he was fast, but people wanted to know if he could run the routes and just make people just completely lose their mind trying to cover him, and he's absolutely done that. 1,700 yards his first season, 1,300 last year, and then 1,700 this year. Just an absolutely electrifying player. I don't understand how. That's one of the hardest things to do, is cover this guy, because they can run two routes. You can have all the guys in the world on defense to cover him, and he's still going to get open. It's pretty unbelievable.
My name is Rex Dixon.
No, we're not ready for that one yet. Settle down. On the flip side,
I'm ready.
we got Dalvin Cook. And Dalvin Cook's a guy who, yardage-wise, down this year. 759 yards on the ground, 6.4 yards per carry, 10 touchdowns. Part of that due to injury. He lost a good chunk of the season with injury, and that has been the one knock on Dalvin Cook, is his inability to stay healthy. But he is healthy today, and when Dalvin Cook is on the field, whether he is running the ball or whether he is catching the ball out of the backfield, this Vikings offense reaches a new level. Jack Gerberry trusts Dalvin Cook to open up the pass game, and he is an absolute key for the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, 5 seasons ago, Dalvin Cook went for 1,600 yards and 26 touchdowns. He followed that up with 24 touchdowns. But the Vikings were so reliant on that guy. They depended on him way too much. The Vikings took a lot of criticism for that. So they went out, they drafted Gerberry, they developed him, and they really put this season on his shoulders. Now, Dalvin Cook may be missing some games the last couple seasons, but when he's there, he's still productive, 6.4 yards per carry. So with Cook, still playing very good, just not quite getting as many carries because Gerberry's going crazy. He's still playing great football. And then you throw Gerberry playing, if Stafford had a little bit of a worse year, this guy was probably number 2 for MVP for sure.
Absolutely.
And that duo is going to be something to watch tonight against the Detroit Lions. We could end up with an incredible shootout here. It's going to be exciting.
A fun fact for folks, again, get your predictions in the chat. We'll read those throughout the first quarter. This might be the most dominant we've seen the Detroit Lions in the regular season, 15-1, and they've won every game by at least 2 scores. That's how good this team is. But the Lions and the Vikings, first game they played, week 13, the Detroit Lions won that one 29-28. The second game they played, the Minnesota Vikings, in week 16, put the one in 15-1 and won 45-42. They split the regular season series. Both games incredibly close. The Vikings, that one team the Lions have trouble with. Who do you like in this one? Who is going to get the chance to face off against the LA Chargers in the Super Bowl?
This is probably not the best way to make a prediction, but a lot of people have talked about Chargers Lions in the Super Bowl, and I think that would be an incredible game to watch. Now, that may be the matchup I want to see, but I just think, look, the Vikings put up 45 points on the Lions last time they played, but they still allowed 42 points. And those games don't happen for Detroit too often, where they score 40 a lot, but people don't score 40 on them quite a bit. So to be able to repeat that, you're going to have to score 40, and I just don't see it happening. I don't think that they're going to be dominant passing tonight. And even so, Gerberry, in a 45-point game, only had 315 yards and 3 touchdowns. So I know it's a good stat line, but it's not 400 yards. It's not 450 yards. It wasn't, oh my gosh, I'm convinced. It was like, yeah, it was a really great game. They got a good win. So I just don't think they have it tonight against the Lions.
The interesting part about this game, and something we don't say too often, I think in this game, if it's a shootout, if we're looking in a double high 40s game, advantage to the Minnesota Vikings, and that's usually not true. Usually the Detroit Lions thrive in that sort of situation, but if the Vikings are scoring a lot of points, that means they're still in this game. There's only one way to find out, folks. We have got to fill that Super Bowl on Saturday night. One spot is filled. There's one more spot to fill here with the NFC Championship game coming up next. It's a battle between two division rivals who find a way to continue to have close games. No one knows how this one's going to go. It's going to be settled on the field. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. It's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Craig Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's been dropping back to pass here on 4th down. He is looking, he's looking deep over the middle. He has a man, it's Brandon Cooks, who catches it, makes a man miss!
Oh, that's
Woodard is
touchdown.
dropping back. He's got open over the middle. It's
Wow. That big playmaker ability
at
as
him
he
go.
finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. One spot is filled, one to go on championship weekend here in the NBL and live on the NBL Network at twitch.tv/NBL Network. We've got the NFC Championship game, Game 2, broadcast number 203 of NBL Live, and we got a fun one for you. It's the 12-4 Minnesota Vikings facing off against the 15-1 and champions of the NFC North, the Detroit Lions. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the co-commish Lip. What a ball game we have in store, and what a ball game to follow after the LA Chargers improbably come from behind, and one of the great performances. Lip, I'm saying the most interesting battle we may have is what game is going to come up with the NBL Live Game of the Year, because we've had about 6 that could have won it in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these guys, we play against each other so much, and everybody picks up on each other's tendencies, that we have these great games, and I think we're in store for another great game tonight, because these guys, they play quite a bit in the NFC North.
Yeah, these two teams know each other very well, as the Detroit Lions are going to get the ball first, and we are underway in the Motown, the Motor City, Detroit, getting the ball first, and we get to see Matt Stafford, the player of the year, the MVP for season 30. He gets to come out and what another unbelievable season for Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible how it seems like every other year he breaks his own passing yards record, and it's pretty incredible, because I think one of the years he did it with Golden Tate and Marvin Jones.
Yep.
So this guy can really do it with anybody.
Yeah, put me on the field. I'll break a record for you. It's on 1st and 10. He's going to look underneath, and it is complete to Montgomery up to the 38-yard line. And the interesting thing about this Detroit Lions team, we talk about Harvey Beckham and how good he is, but it's unbelievable to think this team had 4 receivers with over 800 yards receiving. Matt Stafford spreads the ball around. It's not just HB18.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They use their tight ends very well, and Montgomery kind of came out of nowhere. 1,000 yards last year, 1,300 yards this year. Very impressive guy. Not a lot of people talk about.
Quick throw underneath. That's the tight end. I believe that was Cooper with the catch up to the 43-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the play. Galen Cooper, the tight end, 900 yards receiving on the year. He's having another fantastic season. Dirty Falcon 21 saying, I say Matt Ryan will make an appearance. Interesting you bring up Matt Ryan, Lip. There was a question as to whether Matt Stafford was going to be the starting quarterback at the beginning of this year, and that turned out to all be fake news.
Oh yeah, that was fake news before Matt Ryan even got to Detroit. Everybody knew it.
2nd and 4. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Matt Stafford. He's under center. He's got Wilson in the backfield. And they're going to hand it off to Wilson. Cuts over to the right side. Barr with a nice play. He'll get 2 yards up to the 45-yard line. Going to bring up a 3rd and 3. And, Lip, if you're looking for a team with a great ground and pound offense, a running game to be feared, you should look elsewhere because the Detroit Lions don't have that. They are air it out all day long.
Yeah, and that's really surprises me because you know the focus is on Stafford and HB18 and even Cupper. So they should be able to run the ball a lot better, but they really have never, ever got it going. It's kind of one of the confusing things in NBL to me.
3rd and 3, and who else but the Lions to spread it out and put 5 wide receivers out there as he drops back to pass on 3rd down. Looks deep down the middle of the field, and Sutton jumps in. It's picked off. An early turnover from Matthew Stafford as what recognition by Hop and the defense. Sutton comes up and jumps the post route into the cover 3. A rare early turnover for Matt Stafford as the Minnesota Vikings get the ball.
That's a tremendous play on defense. Stafford's looking for that inside post. The next best thing to do is dump it off to that inside drag route, but that was taken away by the left inside linebacker. That linebacker took away a lot of things on that play, and then Stafford tries to go downfield. Safety makes one heck of a play, and the Vikings here, we're going to get to see Gerberry tonight already.
Yeah, Jack Gerberry out on the field on 1st and 10. He's going to throw it on 1st down, looking for anyone open. Rolls out to the right side, and he dumps it off to Dowman, who can't make the catch through the contact. He's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Jack Gerberry came onto the scene a couple seasons ago and has really taken the league by storm. He's one of the best quarterbacks, clearly a top 5 player, and he has only, he's nowhere to go but up because he is so young.
Yeah, and this team's really built to let him control the game. It's pretty impressive.
Dalvin Cook, what a spin move! And he's got some room on the left side. Hits to the 35, to the 30. Can he be caught? Dalvin Cook turns on the burners. Touchdown, Vikings! 2 plays after the interception. Dalvin Cook puts on the spin cycle and finds the end zone to put the Lions down 7 early at home. What a job by the Vikings defense, and what a job by Dalvin Cook.
I may be mistaken, but I think the Lions blitzed right into the side Cook was running. He was actually shut down, but he made one heck of a move to get around that defender all the way to the house. Has the speed to still get away from defenders. What an impressive run and an impressive start by these Vikings.
That spin move may be one of the fastest in the league. That was a quick cut, made 2 men miss, and then turned on the burners. We talked about Dalvin Cook as a player to watch, and on his first carry, he houses it. Now the Lions looking to respond. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Matt Stafford under center. He's got Wilson in the backfield. See what he does. He drops back, looks to the out route to the right side. It is a complete little juke move. He's got some room. Montgomery to the 50, to the 45. Sutton makes the tackle. Good discipline, staying back, but great recognition right there, Lip. Soft coverage on the outside, quick hot route to an out route, and Montgomery made a nice play to get into enemy territory.
I do not like cover 1 against this team. With HB18, he's a heck of a player. We already know that, but Montgomery's so good too. You leave those guys one-on-one, you're going to get roasted on those out routes. They're so athletic as soon as they make the catch.
It is Matt Stafford dropping back on 1st and 10. He looks to the flat. It is complete up to the 40-yard line. Quick little throw from Stafford, taking what the defense gives him underneath, and he finds Travis Kelce, who came in the offseason, fill the role left by Rob Gronkowski as that tight end. Cupper really stepped into the number 1 tight end role. Kelce stepping into that number 2 role, and he uses both of them very effectively. 2nd and 7. It's Matt Stafford under center with 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 over to the left side. He's got Wilson in the backfield at halfback. 3:26 and counting as Stafford drops back to pass on 2nd and 7. Looking, has a man wide open over the middle. Sutton can't get to that one. It is caught, and it's down to the 17-yard line. The blitz was brought the middle of the field, left all sorts of open, and Mitchell catches it for 22 yards as the Lions are in the red zone.
That was great patience there by Stafford. I think his initial read was taken away by that big man dropping back in coverage. And he just waits. He's patient. The blitz is picked up, and he finds an open man down the field. And unbelievable to still make a cut as soon as you catch the ball. These Detroit receivers are unbelievably athletic.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. That is Harvey Beckham, HB18 on the left side of the field. It's Wilson in a halfback. Stafford drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking for the corner route. Oh, he had him. Just overthrew that a touch. Looking for Montgomery. Good coverage underneath. Nice throw there by Stafford. Put it where only his man could get it. Unfortunately, his man couldn't get that at all. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10, folks. A spot in the NBL Season 30 Super Bowl on the line. The LA Chargers are already there, but who will they face? As the Vikings, an early turnover by Matt Stafford. Sutton jumping a post route. 2 plays later, Dalvin Cook housed it from 70 yards out. And that's how Minnesota has a 7-0 lead. Now 2nd and 10, Stafford dropping back. Looks underneath. It is incomplete, looking for Montgomery. Underthrew that one a little bit, and Montgomery had to catch that ball behind him. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10. Lip, if there's one spot of weakness for the Detroit Lions offense, and there is, it's a small spot. As with most teams, Detroit has struggled at times in the red zone, mostly because they have no running game to really open up that passing play.
Yeah, I think they need to look to Cupper in this situation. He's an incredibly athletic tight end, very fast, can get away from linebackers, but we know that the user coverage from these Vikings is pretty good, so that might take it away. We're going to see a great battle on the inside tonight.
Empty backfield for Stafford. Nobody in the backfield. 5 wide receivers out there. 4 wide receivers and a tight end, and Stafford drops back. 4-man rush looking to the tight end, and just missed him by about 4 yards, and the Detroit Lions are going to have to settle for a field goal, looking for the seam route, looking for that high pass, and that's one of those things, if you're looking at differences between Madden 17 and Madden 18, that high pass was pretty easy to complete. Most quarterbacks could do it. The way they tweaked how quarterbacks play in this game, especially here on sim mode, that high pass, only the best can do it. Matt Stafford's been able to do it a lot, but as you can see, even there's still some inaccuracy because it's such a tough play to make.
Yeah, and we're going to go back to, I think, 1st or 2nd down. Stafford had Montgomery on a linebacker, on a corner route, and he just overthrew him just a little bit. Now, that could be because the linebacker was in good position. If he threw it right to Montgomery, might have been able to make a play on it. Maybe because Montgomery's a little bit of a smaller receiver, but still, Stafford's got to hit those throws because you can't come away with 3 if this offense of the Vikings is going to be this explosive all night.
Toss by to Dalvin Cook. He's got some room on the outside up to the 24-yard line. Give him 3 on the play. Nice job collapsing on that one as T.J. Lang, the right guard, broke his ribs on that pass play, and that's going to take him out for the remainder of the playoffs. That's a big loss for the Detroit Lions as Lang, a solid part of that offensive line.
Yeah, the biggest thing with Detroit is you can't really get pressure on them. So if they're losing Lang for the rest of the playoffs, it's going to be a tough road ahead protecting Stafford.
At 7, Gerberry under center, Dalvin Cook in the backfield, 2 tight ends, and he drops back to pass on 2nd down. And down goes Gerberry as Tease Tabor on the blitz from the outside. Free rusher, no one picked him up, and he comes up and makes a play on Jack Gerberry. First sack of the day, and what a job by Tease Tabor, developing into a real nice cornerback. Is great in coverage and is so athletic, they're able to send him on blitzes. He can get to the quarterback in a hurry. Now 3rd and 13 for Gerberry and the Minnesota Vikings, and they're going to come out 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Dalvin Cook to the left of Jack Gerberry. As Gerberry's going to take the snap on 3rd and 13, 3-man rush from the Lions, looking for anybody to come open. He's looking deep down the left side for Turner, diving, catching the sidelines. Oh, what vision to wait for that crosser to come all the way across on the right side of the field. And Turner, 25 yards, a huge conversion for the Vikings.
I was screaming in my head for Gerberry to step up in the pocket. I saw that edge rusher. I thought he was going to break free, but the tackles held strong, impressively strong there. And Gerberry's patience is just unbelievable. That was an incredible amount of patience he had to wait for that guy to come the whole way across the field.
Mad Scientist 06 joining us in the chat. Welcome, Mad Scientist. Welcome, everyone joining us here on MBL Live. Quick throw to the out route to Turner once again, but a good tackle made to pry that one free. Going to be an incomplete pass. We appreciate all of you tuning into MBL Live broadcast number 203. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, the co-commish Lip, coming off of an unbelievable AFC Championship game where the LA Chargers just topped his Pittsburgh Steelers. An unbelievable game. Hey, if you missed it, guess what? It's going to go right up on YouTube, youtube.com/Madden Bomber League. You can check out all of our NBL Live archives and all of our original programming over on our YouTube channel. But be sure to stay here on Twitch through this one because this should be a great game as Gerberry drops back. On 2nd and 10, looks over the middle of the field for Stephon Diggs. Nice possession catch there at the 34-yard line. Give him a 1st down. 2-4 to start this game, but some real nice reads early from Jack Gerberry.
That was great play design right there. He made the inside linebacker decide on one of the 2 routes coming underneath, and that pulled him completely away from the receiver coming from the left side.
Now 1st and 10 for the Minnesota Vikings. Handoff to Dalvin Cook over the right side. Not a whole lot of room there. Nice job by the Detroit Lions. Defense collapsing on that one. And look, we talked about the Detroit Lions team. Their defense fairly solid. 8th in scoring, 15th in yards, so fairly middle of the road. Better than the Vikings, though. The Vikings' defense has been their weakness. The Lions, their defense has improved greatly from past seasons.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, you guys talked about it with Pittsburgh. The defense got better with an already great offense, and that's the same thing that needs to happen with the Vikings.
Christic, free blocker on the right side, and this Lions team, bringing a lot of pressure from their corners and linebackers, and so far the Minnesota Vikings seem all crossed up on how to block that.
Yeah, and Gerberry has to step up in the pocket. That's been an issue in Minnesota for a few seasons. The quarterback never really steps up. He's got to step up in that pocket by himself just a little bit more time.
3rd and 19, and they're going to play it safe and just do a drop play to Dalvin Cook. Goes for the hurdle. Oh, what a bad play. Why go for the hurdle there? It was a conservative play call. They went for the playmaker, and Cook fumbles on the big hit, and the Minnesota Vikings get no points on the drive off a little bit of what you could say was a showboaty play from Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings.
Cook gets a draw. It's a conservative play, and then he tries to be fancy. Got too fancy, and it cost him big.
Play action pass for Matt Stafford. He rolls out to the left side. Oh, he's got a man open on the crosser, and he misses him. Oh, man.
OSU.
Yeah.
Whenever I was talking earlier about Detroit can run 2 routes and they still find a way open, that was the play design that I was talking about. They had that incredible ability to just clear everybody out and find that guy outside the hash, deep down the field, and there we see it again. Stafford just completely overthrowing a wide-open guy.
2nd and 10, pistol formation for Matt Stafford. As they're going to no, it's going to be play action pass. He faked me out as Stafford rolls out to the right side, looking for somebody to come open. Barr playing some nice defense on the playmaker. Stafford takes a big hit at the 45-yard line. Not going to get the first down, just short. Lip, I know you got Matt Ryan as a backup, but the last thing you want to see is Matt Stafford taking hits on the sidelines.
Yeah, we talk about it with Mariota, but Mariota can run. Stafford can run, but not as much in the sense of Mariota. Don't want that fella to take many hits, especially not gruesome ones like that.
Jiggy J-Rod joining us in the chat. Welcome, J-Rod. Welcome, everyone. Again, hit that follow button so you know each and every time we go live. And if you hit that subscribe button, folks, you can be a part. We're going to be giving away a couple of NBL custom controllers during our Super Bowl broadcast on Saturday night. You must be a subscriber to win, but you're going to want to be a part of that if you do hit that subscribe button. You'll be a part of all of our NBL live giveaways. And the fun part is some of them you don't even have to be present to win. The Super Bowl, I believe all of our giveaways are going to be, you must be present to win, except for the NBL gift pack we'll be giving away. But got to be a subscriber to be a part of those giveaways. And Lip, those NBL custom controls, we've given away a couple of them, and so far the reviews are pretty good because there are a lot of guys in the NBL who don't even have one of those.
Yeah, and I'm one of those guys, and every time it comes up, I get excited. I think that one of the things that I'm missing in my life is the ability to play my NBL games with an NBL controller.
Sure.
I have a nice controller now. I like it. It's a good controller. Sometimes it throws interceptions, but I want an NBL custom controller.
Shout out to Double A for the 2-month sub. Appreciate it. Appreciate all of our subscribers and followers out there. Here on the NBL Network, it's Jack Gerberry dropping back on 1st and 10, rolling to the left side, looking for somebody to come open. Looks for, Turner. Wow, what unbelievable acceleration. What a throw by Gerberry. What a first down. That Turner might be the wide receiver I don't think anybody has really talked about, and he is incredibly talented.
No, there's a lot of things that can go wrong on that play. Great throw by Gerberry. The linebacker could have jumped up, made a great pick. Safety could have came down. Corner could have came down. Excellent throw there by Gerberry. 1st and 10
as Gerberry drops back, looking for somebody to come open. He's going to take a sack there. It looks like Christic once again, his 2nd sack of the day. Look, Javonte Turner. First season, 5 catches, 161 yards. Second season, 44 catches, 856 yards. This year, 64 catches, 1,000 yards receiving. This guy has sort of come from obscurity and has become a reliable target for Jack Gerberry.
Yeah, and that's what Gerberry does. He can make other guys step up and become very talented. Pretty impressive.
2nd and 14, quick throw to the flat to the tight end. Dahlman breaks the tackle and is able to get up to the 47-yard line. Nice job there fighting forward for the extra yards. And now, Lip, this is where the Vikings want to be. 3rd and 1. Opportunity to run it with Cook, to throw it. It keeps the Detroit defense on their heels.
Yeah, and he's got to be powerful right here.
And it's going to be Dalvin Cook right up the middle. Didn't have to be that powerful because the offensive line opened up a big old hole for him to get at least a yard. He gets 3 up to the 45-yard line, and Minnesota's offense driving. They are really looking impressive here against the Detroit Lions, and we knew this one was going to be a hard-fought game. Lions only 1 loss on the year, but it was to these Minnesota Vikings. It's Jack Gerberry under center, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. He'll drop back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking a little pick in the middle there. It is complete. Let's see if they get him. They get Tibor for pass interference, which will give him a free first down up to the 40-yard line.
That was strange. It looked like the Vikings receiver coming from the left bumped the receiver coming from the right, who then bumped into Tabor, drawing that penalty. Kind of weird situation there.
A deep pass over the middle of the field. He has Stephon Diggs on the post. but a hit prized that one free. Oh, he was open for a moment. The defense collapses. As Porter in the chat asking, did we have a giveaway in March? No, we're going to be doing the NBL gift pack giveaways during the Super Bowl broadcast each season, which gives, again, as we said, each month you're a subscriber, you get an extra entry. So everybody who subscribed from day one will have 3 entries. They should have 3 if you subscribed all 3 months into that giveaway. We'll give away those gift packs, again, as we gather the items during the Super Bowl broadcast for Season 30, and for Season 31 will be the last one of those NBL gift packs. 2nd and 10, handoff to Dalvin Cook over the right side. Get a couple on the play up to the 37-yard line. It's hard to follow up taking your first one to the house from 70 yards out, but Detroit's doing a nice job of bottling up Dalvin Cook. Yeah,
and Slade there in the middle at 647 pounds.
Yes, somewhere around there.
Plays a lot quicker and more agile than that weight would let you think.
Yeah, big boy Gianni Slade. Coming in at roughly the weight of 3 dump trucks. 3rd and 7. As Gerber drops back pass, looking to convert it. He completes it to Turner right at the sticks, and he'll get the first down to the 28-yard line. Another nice play there from Javonte Turner, who is having a fantastic start to this game. And the Minnesota Vikings continue driving. 28-yard line. They've got 3 wide receivers to the right side, 1 over to the left as Gerber drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking over the top for Stephon Diggs, who comes up with a catch through contact and finds a way to pull it down to the 7-yard line. Gerber got licked. Diggs with a tough catch, and what a play by Stephon Diggs.
That was terrifying because those are usually the ones where the defenders look like punt returners, but what a play by Gerber to stand in there, take that hit, and throw a beautiful ball.
I don't know if it was the smartest throws. Dalvin Cook takes it up the middle because with that nickel dog make, but the running back in the flat, Dalvin Cook was all sorts of open, had a lot of space, but sometimes you just trust your wide receiver, and if there's a receiver to trust, Lip, it's Stephon Diggs. He has been stellar since he's been in Minnesota.
Oh, absolutely. Makes up for that dropped pass a couple of plays ago. He is a heck of a receiver. He should have come up with that, but he made it up right there with a beautiful catch.
73 catches, 1,300 yards for Stephon Diggs. 2nd and goal. Gerber dropping back to pass. Looks into the end zone for Turner. A nice read there as he waited for that linebacker to get out of the way and finds Turner, but I think he had another option open over the middle.
Yeah, the tight end looked like he was going to take a step to the flat and then cuts it hard inside, was wide open, just kind of predetermined, had his mind set on that guy and hit it.
Toss play to Cook over the right side. Uh-oh. The Seals on the edge, and Dalvin Cook's going to walk into the end zone on 3rd and goal, and that is what the Minnesota Vikings do so well. You never know when they're going to run it with Cook or throw with Gerber. The options are great for the Vikings as the toss play works to perfection. The Vikings go up 14-3 and silence the crowd on an 11-play drive to get up 14-3, Lip. If you were expecting the Lions to run away with this one, you clearly don't know these Minnesota Vikings.
No, and I think we're setting ourselves up for a heck of a finish here because almost halftime here, Detroit only has 3 points. I expect them to finish somewhere in the 30s. I think we're going to see some amazing drives from these Detroit Lions. So I don't think this game's anywhere close to being over.
No, absolutely not. The Lions can score and score in a hurry. They come out 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. It's Harvey Beckham on the right side. Tavon Wilson in at halfback on 1st and 10. It's going to be a counter play for Wilson. Oh, boy, and it was set up perfectly, but he got caught up on the pulling blocker and gets taken down for a 2-yard gain. He was all sorts of gone if he doesn't run into his own man.
Yeah, and I think that's been a problem with halfbacks in Detroit. They just don't have that spatial awareness that you see guys like Dalvin Cook, Melvin Gordon, Le'Veon Bell, those guys have. They just don't have it in Detroit for some reason.
Ball carrier vision, such a key. Is on 2nd and 8. It's a play action pass from Matt Stafford as he rolls out to the right side. Waiting, looking, floats it. Had lots of options. He found nobody and lit Matt Stafford. 5 of 12, unusually inaccurate. This is a guy who during the season had a 74% completion percentage.
Yeah, and we're seeing right now Stafford's kind of coming out of the pocket, I think, a little bit too much. And that's good sometimes whenever you want to cut the field in half or you want to look at one side of the field. But I think he's doing it just a little too much, and it's kind of setting him up for failure here. He needs to stay in the pocket and make better reads, I think.
3rd and 8 play action pass for Matt Stafford. Blitz picked up. He rolls out to the left side, waiting. He has a man open over the middle. Sutton almost picked that one. Instead, he bats it about 25 yards backwards. And the Minnesota Vikings are going to force another punt from the Detroit Lions. What is wrong with this Lions offense?
It's honestly, I'll just put it right on Stafford. He's had I think 5 open guys that he has just thrown, too far one way or another. It's not on target, and I'm just not sure what's up with him tonight.
4th and 8, the punt is away. Nice tackle on the punt return to the 26-yard line. 2:06 to go. Minnesota has the ball. 3 timeouts. Their offense has been methodical and is really controlling the time of possession, which works in Minnesota's favor.
Yeah, and if Minnesota can get a lead and control the clock with Dalvin Cook, it might be game over because he can run the ball really well if you haven't noticed.
1st and 10. It's going to be Gerberry dropping back to pass. Blitz coming. Down goes Gerberry. Another sack for Christic. 3 on the day as we hit the 2-minute warning. Lip, I'm looking at the chat. Already calling for Matt Ryan. This is the NBL MVP for season 30. A 5,500-yard passer, and they're calling for Matt Ryan.
No, there's so many things that go into quarterback play and an offense. Settle down. Yes.
2nd and 16. Gerberry looks underneath. It is complete to Hutchins, who gets taken down at the 26-yard line, a minute 53 and counting, and a big 3rd and 9. The Lions defense looking to get off of the field and get the ball back to their offense and maybe get Matt Stafford going.
It's a dangerous time because if they give the Lions the ball back here with, 20 seconds, that's enough for them to score. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Vikings handle the clock management here almost at halftime.
3 wide receivers, 1 tight end. For the Minnesota Vikings, 2 wide receivers over the left side, 1 over to the right. Dalvin in the slot on the right. 3rd and 9. Gerberry dropping back to pass. Looking. Has a man complete underneath to Hutchins, but a big open field tackle on the right side. And it's going to be a punt for the Minnesota Vikings on 4th and 2. What a job by the Lions defense not letting the drag route beat them.
Yeah, and we saw special teams come up big for the Chargers. Let's see if the Lions can get themselves a nice return here. Make their offense a short field.
Minute 17 to go. It's going to be taken up past the 15-yard line to the 20, to the 25, up past the 30, just shy of the 35 to the 32-yard line. And that's where Matt Stafford and the Lions will come back out on offense. Lip, I know Stafford hasn't been himself in the first half, but a minute 12 to go and 2 timeouts. This has aptly called Matt Stafford time.
Yeah, and whenever you get those bad throws out of the way, maybe there was some nerves, maybe there's just something not settling in right. This is an opportunity where you can get the mojo back for yourself, and Stafford's got a big opportunity here.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Stafford. He's got Wilson in the backfield. 1st and 10, it's a play-action pass for Stafford. Looking, looks over to the right side. It is complete to Montgomery once again. Montgomery has a couple catches. We haven't really seen Harvey Beckham today. The Minnesota secondary doing a nice job of locking him up.
Yeah, and I don't know how to explain it, but if you take Harvey Beckham away, it kind of becomes a fair fight. But Montgomery's just one heck of a receiver. So, here they are at past midfield already. HB18's got to come up big at some point in this game.
1st and 10, 42 seconds and counting for the Detroit Lions. They've got 2 timeouts. Stafford changing up the play as he drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Only a 3-man rush. Looks over the middle, and Flacco picks it off. That's not Joe Flacco. It is the safety Flacco for the Minnesota Vikings, and the 2nd interception for Matt Stafford. A bad read, and these safeties for the Minnesota Vikings defense are coming down and making sure those seam routes and post routes aren't getting completed. A huge turnover for the Vikings.
Yeah, once again, I'm not sure what Stafford's seeing there. I think there was some confusion on what he was seeing from the defense. Obviously, big time, and, poor decision there by Stafford.
Hand off to Dalvin Cook over the right side. Spins
baby.
Up. That spin move is so nasty. Let that spin move. I will go as far. I think that spin move is the best in the game.
Yeah, you see a lot of guys try to get that spin move down, and I don't know how, because some guys try it and they just lose where they're at on the field and they go the wrong direction.
They get dizzy.
Yeah, they really do. And Dalvin Cook doesn't, and it almost killed the Lions there again.
2nd and 6. It is Gerberry dropping back to pass. They don't take a timeout. They're going to take a deep shot to Turner down the right side in one-on-one coverage. Turner can't come up with a catch. I don't know what's the plan there, though, because if Turner does come up with a catch there, I guess it's just a Hail Mary play for a field goal, but if you're going to throw it, why not, start off with that on the drive?
Yeah, I really don't know, because you're testing Slay. Just a real questionable thing all the way around.
Counter play for Dalvin Cook. He'll get the 1st down, but I don't think it's to halftime. 14-3 your score. And Minnesota's going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. But, if I told you at the beginning of the game Matt Stafford would be under 50% completion, he would have thrown 2 interceptions, but the team would still be only down 2 scores, I think most Lions fans would be happy with that.
Yeah, I think I've seen Stafford do that before in the first quarter, but you know, a half is in the books, and he's still, I think, only have 5 completions on 13, 14, 15 attempts. That's the part that I'm not sure. I just don't know what's wrong with Stafford at this point.
Look for Diggs on this deep post. Nope, he's going to find Turner underneath. The spin move. Wow, look, and he fumbles the ball, and a break for the Vikings as it rolls out of bounds.
He got dizzy.
I want somebody with spin moves like that. That's all I'm saying. He's got the moves like Jagger. His I formation for the Vikings on 1st and 10. Play action pass rollout. Looking deep down the field for Turner in one-on-one coverage, and Turner can't make the play. It looks like they were testing Darius Slay once again. And Slay may be getting up there in age, but he is still one of the best one-on-one corners in the game.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. They're really trusting Turner on Slay, and I'm not sure why. Maybe that's something that worked out when they hung up 45 points on the lines. But it's not working today because Slay is still an amazing corner, getting a little there in age, but still able to lock down one side of the field.
2nd and 10, and it's a play-action pass. Deep throw over the middle for Diggs. The coverage was tight, but Diggs got position. That possession catch, easy play for the Minnesota Vikings as Diggs comes up with his 3rd one on the day, and the Vikings once again past midfield, up 14-3, folks. This game, Minnesota, a touchdown here. Probably one of the most surprising scores you would have seen in the NFC Championship game as Gerberry dropping back, looks towards the right side. Turner's open over the top, and they found him, and he is gone. Stepping his way into the end zone, 49 yards. The Vikings have blown open this game up 20-3.
That is an absolutely unbelievable route. Run of perfection. Everybody loves to hit those out routes. You think it's coming right there, and the wide receiver just burns them up the field and kills them. And the Vikings are up 21-3 on the lines. This is incredible what I'm seeing right now.
And I'm gonna try to personify the Madden hater. Double moves don't work.
Oh boy, they
work.
Most certainly do. You need the time. You need the patience. Athleticism plays into it, not so much speed. Good route running, but mostly the patience and the time. And they most certainly can work.
1st and 10, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers from Matt Stafford. Montgomery coming in motion on 1st and 10. Blitz coming. It's picked up nicely, and it's a toss underneath to Montgomery, who makes one man miss, can't make the second man miss, and lip. I think the biggest thing we're seeing, apart from Matt Stafford's inaccuracy, is Minnesota's taking away the deep routes, and that's where Detroit can kill you.
Yeah, and the ones that they have made mistakes on, Stafford's overthrown them. But right there's a good play. Stafford just gets his groove going. We'll see how it works out.
2nd and 2. Stafford rolling out to the right side, trying to find somebody open. He's going to have to chuck this off. He was looking for the that highlight.
Unbelievable
down the
coverage.
Field. How good? I mean, again, this Vikings defense, fairly middle of the road in terms of yardage, but they look elite today.
Yeah, and that's the thing I talked about in the pregame. They were, I think, 26 against the pass, and that probably doesn't match up well against these lines. But that coverage right there, the receiver was starting to go down the field, and the corner was all over him. That's a big play that you need from your defense.
3rd and 2, bunch formation to the right for Stafford. One over to the left. He drops back to pass on 3rd down. Looks over the middle of the field for the tight end. And finally puts one on the money on the seam route. And this is where they're going to hurry up. And this is where Detroit can be so dangerous as they up the tempo. Bunch formation, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left. He's got Wilson to the left of Matt Stafford in the shotgun here. 1st and 10, 4:37 and counting here in the 3rd quarter. Stafford takes the snap on 1st down. Looking, stays in the pocket, finds Harvey Beckham, finally finds his #1 wide receiver up to the 23-yard line.
Here's the Lions. They know that Dalvin Cook can run the game out if they don't start to put up some points. This is them trying to get points on the board, cut it down to an 11-point game, and try to take away how much time Dalvin Cook can kill with his incredible running.
First catch of the day for Harvey Beckham. 1st and 10, Stafford waiting, has a man over the middle. It's complete. The possession catch, finally possession catch in front of Sutton. They're down to the 4-yard line. Lip, it may be 21-3, but this Lions team is still the Detroit Lions, and they can score in a hurry.
Yeah, and this is the Detroit. This is the Vikings defense that we kind of expected. They played really great to start the game. Getting chewed up right now. Let's see how they do inside the 5.
Yep, they're on the 4-yard line. 2 tight ends, 1 wide receiver. Wilson at the top of that eye. Quick 3-step drop for Stafford. Waiting. Oh, and Barr gets his hand in there. He's looking for the tight end on the crossing route. It's an incomplete pass. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
The amazing thing about that is that that's an athleticism mismatch, and that's incredible because Cupper is, like I said, an incredibly athletic tight end. That might have been Kelsey, which makes that.
That makes Kelsey.
if that was Kelsey, that makes it an incredible mismatch. Barr was all over him, and that's not a read that I want to make because Barr is one heck of a linebacker athletically.
Yeah, two tight ends, two wide receivers for Matt Stafford. He's got Cupper standing up on the right side in the slot. Look for him as Kelsey's going to go over to the right side. Wilson in the backfield. They're going to toss it to Tavon Wilson. Let him try to run it in. One man to beat. He jukes out Flacco, but a nice tackle from behind to bring down Tavon Wilson at the 3-yard line. And Lip, this is where the Lions' inability to run the ball comes back to bite them when they can't get in the end zone from more than like 20 yards out. These goal line situations are tough to watch.
Yeah, and I think it's got to be on Stafford's arm right now. I'm not sure that I trust the run game against the front of the Vikings.
And with no TJ Lang, 3rd and goal, I formation. Wilson at the top of that I, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end on the left side of that formation. It's Stafford dropping back to pass, only a 4-man rush, not a lot of room. Stafford's going to roll out to the right side, waiting. Oh, he waits perfectly, but he's not in bounds! Incomplete pass! And the Lions, Harvey Beckham. That's a play. Beckham's got to make all sorts of open. Is that one on Beckham for not knowing where he is on the field? Is that one on Stafford for putting too much on that ball? What is that?
That's 100% on Beckham. Okay, he's not very tall. He doesn't have a whole lot of body to get down. Still a lot of space for how athletic he is and just isn't able to do it. He gets a little too fancy with the jump and catch and just does not know how close he is to the boundary and really kills the Lions there because that was great patience, great throw by Stafford. And I'm just not sure what HB was doing.
Marshall with the return. Oh, wow. Nice blocking on the special teams play. He'll get up to the 39-yard line. Lip, the Lions defense has actually done a relatively nice job for how relatively impotent the offense has been, but it's time for the Lions to force some sort of turnover to get the ball back. Yeah,
and Gerberry can't be too comfortable or too confident here. I think it's Dalvin Cook time, honestly.
1st and 10. Jack Gerberry under center, and he's going to hand it to Dalvin Cook, who tries to break to the outside and gets taken down by his own lineman, Tushy. What a tackle there by the offensive lineman. Loss of 3 on the play.
I'm sitting here covering my eyes because
as the Tushy tackle.
We were talking about how great Dalvin Cook is. Oh boy, he can close out a game, and he just kind of.
It was no butt fumble. There was no fumble. That's good. Shout out to Mark Sanchez, MVP of the butt fumble. 2nd and 13, 2 in the backfield with Jack Gerberry. He's going to drop back to pass on 2nd down. Quick throw to the outside. Probably that may be the first real inaccurate throw from Jack Gerberry as he had Dalvin Cook on the wheel and just straight up sailed that one.
Yeah, on the other side, he had the guy in the flat wide open, and those flat routes I trust a lot more than the wheel routes because it's hard for a halfback to get his head turned around with the timing of the quarterback. It's just a tough thing to do.
3rd and 13, Detroit looking to get off the field and get the ball back. It is Jack Gerberry dropping back to pass on 3rd down. Looking, lots of time, lots of space on the right side. Looking, throws back across his body, looking for Dahlman. What a throw! What a catch by Dahlman! 1-on-1. How did the Lions defense lose Dahlman down the field on a broken play? 1st down, Vikings at the 23-yard line.
The guts of Gerberry right there was unbelievable to have nobody on the right side of the field, throw the whole way back across the middle. But I know he was watching that the whole time. Yeah. Just an incredible throw.
1st and 10, hand off to Dalvin Cook. Up the middle, not a whole lot of room there. It's Gianni Slade in on the tackle. Going to bring up a 2nd and 8. Let the throw across your body to the other side of the field. Bold move, Cotton, and it ended up working out.
Absolutely. That's just an incredible throw, and the patience. I am in love with the patience that I just saw there from Gerberry.
2nd and 8, bunch formation to the left side. It's Gerberry dropping back to pass.
He tried to do it twice.
Yeah, it didn't work. Didn't work the 2nd time. Folks, just a reminder, by the way, of our graphic sponsor, web3ks.com. They do a ton for our entire MBL network. They're a pregame sponsor. If anybody out there needs graphics done for an affordable price, hit up web3ks.com. Let them know MBL sent you. They'll give you a 15% discount. All business great to work with. Web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. 3rd and 8. Another opportunity for Detroit to get off the field. Holding to a field goal would be huge. Minute 38 to go. Jack Gerberry's in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 over to the left side. Gerberry dropping back, looks deep down the middle of the field for Perriman. Almost came up with the catch there through the contact, but he will not be able to make the play. And on 4th and 8, Minnesota's going to be forced to kick a field goal.
Minnesota, they're going for the kill shot. I like the read, but I think they had the motion out route there. Yeah. Quick and open. It's safe. And it had a good chance of picking up the 1st down, but they were going for that kill shot, but was not a turnover. They get themselves a field goal, and the pressure is back on Matt Stafford and the Detroit Lions.
Dark Brawler in the chat lip saying Lions still going to win. The confidence still flowing with young Brawler 24-6. Detroit down. They've got the ball. Held under 200 yards of offense so far, which is something you don't see too often. Pistol formation for Matt Stafford. He's got 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 over to the left. They're going to run it with Tavon Wilson. And I think Wilson's just out of practice because he's got to cut that up a little quicker and get some more yards instead of that 1-yard play as he tried to go outside.
Yeah, I think that Detroit has a little bit of trouble with the smaller receivers trying to block defenders. And right there, just not good vision by the halfback there. It's tough running the ball in Detroit.
2nd and 9 for the Detroit Lions. As it's a pass from Matt Stafford over the right side. He's up to the 50. HB18 takes a big hit down to the 48-yard line. First down, though, for the Detroit Lions.
There he is. He's coming alive. But he's not going to be alive too much longer if he continues to take hits like that because he got cracked.
First and 10 for Matt Stafford. He's in the pistol formation. 3 wide receivers, 2 over the right, 1 over to the left side. He drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Looking. Lots of time. He finds HB18 underneath, and this is where he can be so dangerous. First down, up past the 33-yard line. Beckham getting involved in the offense in the second half.
Yeah, and here you see Detroit going, hurry up again. Like I said, I think it's in the back of their mind that Dalvin Cook can close out games, so they need to get on a groove here.
1st and 10. Stafford looking to the right side, has a man behind it. It's Montgomery, makes Wayne Smith. He's got some room up inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Montgomery having himself a day, but Lip, danger zone for the Detroit Lions as they're inside the 10. And there's not a whole lot of time left in this ball game.
Yeah, and that's where you see the hurry up coming from because they're starting to feel the pressure, and now they're inside the 10 here. It's going to be risky.
1st and goal for the Vikings. Pistol formation as he drops back to pass on 1st down. Stafford looking, lots of guys coming. He throws it over the middle. What a throw by Stafford with pressure in his face. He delivers a strike to the end zone. Touchdown, Lions. There is life in the Motor City.
The linebacker did everything that he could to try to take away about 3 routes there, and his time expires in the 3rd quarter. The Lions get in the end zone, have life, and here we go. It's that time. The Lions are coming back.
And now we're going to see if the Lions defense is up to the challenge. They need a couple stops here, but they've cut it back to a 2-score game. What a throw. CJ Slayer X in the chat saying dot. Yeah, absolutely a dot there from Matt Stafford. That is why he is the record holder for most yards in a season. That is why he's the season 30 MVP. That's just why he's so darn good.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot of that here in this final quarter of this great game.
On 1st and 10, it's Jack Herberry dropping back to pass. Only a 3-man rush. Looking deep down the middle of the field for Stephon Diggs. In between everybody. He comes up with a catch. Another beautiful throw from Jack Herberry. And another missed play there from the Detroit Lions. A lot of blue jerseys standing around.
It's pretty incredible to see Herberry throw that pass there. He trusts Diggs so much, and you can see why.
1st and 10. Play action pass. Herberry's dropping back to pass again. He's got a man coming open on the right side. It is complete to Stephon Diggs up the sidelines. So 2 plays later, and why not? The Minnesota Vikings are down to the 12-yard line, and it's up to the Lions defense to force him to kick a field goal lift because a touchdown here could put this one out of reach.
I just don't know what to say. Detroit's defense needs to step up.
Yeah.
It does. Very lost. A lot of broken plays here are coming up big for the Vikings.
1st and 10, toss play to Dalvin Cook on the left side. Tries to spin. He saw the user coming. Tried to spin it back inside. There were a couple blue jerseys waiting for him. He'll lose 1 on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 11, folks. And don't forget, at the end of this game, we'll have our NBL Live Player of the Game selection for broadcast number 203, 4, whatever one we're on at this point. We had 2 tonight. We'll do the play of the game after this one. I'm slowly losing my mind on 2 calls, but we'll have our player of the game. You can check out all of our player of the games on our website, 365.maddenbottomleague.com. 2nd and 11 for Jack Herberry and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 wide receivers out there as Herberry drops back to pass on 2nd and 11. And he's going to look underneath to Turner, who just had a little too much of the burners on. He goes out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Big opportunity here, Lip. 3rd and 9. Detroit needs a stop.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about this situation right here because Herberry's confidence is overflowing. You can see it. I think that the field goal is huge here. I think that you tell Dalvin Cook, do not try to leap over anybody, and you give him the football.
Yeah, just stay on the ground, cover up. don't be dumb. That's your 3 points of emphasis for Dalvin Cook at this point. 4:52 to go in the fourth quarter. Shotgun formation for the Minnesota Vikings. Handoff to Cook over the left side. He stays on the ground. There is no fumble. Minnesota's going to take their field goals. Cook hits 100 yards on the day, and Minnesota looks to go up 2 scores here, but 4:43 to go. This game, if the first game showed anything to us, this game is far from over.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, I've seen Detroit score. I'm talking go like 80 yards in multiple plays in like 15, 20 seconds. So being down this much with 4.5 minutes left, I'm telling you, it is nothing to this offense. And if HB18 gets fired up, turns it on, they could be right back in this game like you would not believe, so quick.
I'm continuing to follow the NHL playoffs. Can the NHL, like...
Oh, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
How about... Can I... Again.
I forgot. I forgot that you are also an NHL fan.
I'm going to the Jackets-Caps Game 4 in Columbus next week as a real horse collar attacker there. Lip, I'm sure you noticed. The Pittsburgh Penguins made the Philadelphia Flyers look silly last night.
Oh, yeah, 7 times. And Sidney Crosby is just so good at hockey, he is just playing baseball every night now. I don't understand how.
Jackets
I can't even be good at one thing. He's just phenomenal multiple.
Yeah, Jackets just tied up the Caps 3-3 in the third period. 2nd and 10. Shotgun formation for Stafford. Look deep over the middle of the field for the tight end. And, oh, what a play by the defense to pry that one free. That was Kelsey down the middle. And now a big 3rd and 10 for the Lions. Look, the offense just seems out of sync.
None of them are on the same page. When the receivers make the right moves, Stafford doesn't read it right or throws a bad pass, and right there he makes a great read, fits it in tight to Kelsey, and he just can't come up with the catch. So they're just never on the same page, it seems.
4 wide receivers for Matt Stafford. 3 over to the left side, 1 to the right. Tavon Wilson to his right. He's not getting the ball. Just if anybody thought he was going to get the ball here on a run play, it's not happening. He may get it in the pass, but there's not going to be a run. As DB says hockey is trash, you're just 100% wrong. It's fine. Deep throw over the middle of the field. Can't find him. 4:27 to go, Lip. Oh, the Lions going to go for it here on 4th and 10.
I would kindly ask DB to remove himself from our chat.
I almost timed him out.
Talk.
I almost timed him out.
And that's the thing. Both of us are hockey fans, so nobody can tell us we can't talk about it.
Well, they're going to go for it here. 4th and 10. They know time is running out. 4 wide receivers, 3 over to the left side, 1 over to the right. Wilson to the right of Matt Stafford in the shotgun. Let's see if the Lions can pull a rabbit out of the hat here at home as Stafford drops back to pass on 4th and 10, looking for the seam route. Oh, what a play! Sutton jumped in too early. Montgomery was gone without the possession catch, but he takes the safe play, and the Lions convert a big 4th down.
That is huge, and right there, just a weird play by the safety there,
yeah.
And here the Lions go.
Got too excited, saw the pass coming his way, thought he could pick it. As a quick throw to the left side, another drop lip, and again, if there's a knock on these Detroit wide receivers, they are smaller, they're quick. There's not really a big body wide receiver with good hands. They rely on speed, so if you get physical with them, you tend to be able to dominate them.
And that pass right there, the ball was kind of thrown behind there, so you had to turn around and try to make the catch. He's not physically equipped to take the hits that he don't see coming.
Pistol formation for Matt Stafford. Tavon Wilson in the backfield. 3 wide receivers out there as Stafford drops back to pass on 2nd and 10. Looking. Lots of time. He's going to take what the defense gives him and run it right up the gut and slide down at the 30-yard line. 15 yards on the play. The cerebral Matt Stafford taking a nice run up the middle. And the Lions, they're the 30-yard line, but there's not a whole lot of time left. 3:47 and counting, folks. The Lions needing a touchdown, and then their defense come up with a stop against Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers from Matt Stafford as he drops back to pass on 1st down. Blitz coming. It's picked up, but Stafford can't find anyone open. He takes a sack as Flacco from his safety position comes up and makes the play.
That's just a good defense against that offensive call. There's too much going on down the field. And that's where he's looking. He's not trying to take the short stuff right now in these situations. So just wasn't enough space down the field, and he has to hold on to the ball.
3:16 and counting. 5 wide receivers for Stafford, and Minnesota's going to take their first timeout. Don't like what they saw from the Lions. The Lions have struggled to find the end zone today. They've had a couple opportunities, but it's just one of those things where you get 4th quarter, Detroit needs a score. It's hard to count against these guys.
Yeah, like I said, they do not need a whole lot of time to score. And considering that there's still over 3 minutes left in this game, there's absolutely no reason to count them out, especially when they can pick up these, second, third, fourth and longs pretty easily compared to other teams in the NBL.
Yeah, and especially if you watched our first game, you know this game is far from over. Stafford drops back to pass on second down. Looking, little dig route on the left side is complete to Harvey Beckham. And that is what I think impresses me most about the Detroit Lions. The dig route is a tough route, I think, for a lot of people to run. These guys use it so effectively.
Yeah, you just have to know which routes are going where and try to pull linebackers away from that dig route to make it effective.
As Stafford drops back on 1st and 10, looking for somebody to come
all
open.
Day.
Lots of time. Rolls out to the right side, waiting for anybody to come open. He's going to do a little jump throw and complete it to Montgomery. I don't think I've ever seen Matt Stafford do that particular throwing motion.
I got really nervous there because I saw two defenders coming downhill real quick. But Stafford makes another great play, great patience there, and finds Montgomery underneath.
2nd and 6 for the Detroit Lions. Shotgun formation for Matt Stafford. 3 wide receivers as he drops back to pass. Looking. He goes. Stafford has a little bit of happy feet right now, Lip. We talked about it early, how Stafford needs to stay in the pocket right there. He started roaming to the left side, and that made the sack, or at least the play on that one, easy. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 6.
Yeah, he's coming across that field because he's trying to read where the linebackers are making their decisions, whether they're staying back on that tight end or they're coming up to take away the drag, and he just gets a little bit too far outside. It's a tough balance because sometimes you need to take a couple steps to the left to be able to make certain reads with certain plays. It's just a tough balance, and Stafford's kind of struggled to find that here tonight.
Double A in the chat saying time is ticking. 2:26 to go. Empty backfield for Matt Stafford. Play clock down under 7 as he drops back to pass on 3rd and 6. Waiting, looking to the left side, has a man. Matt Stafford puts it on the money. It's Montgomery with the touchdown. It's back to a 1-score game, Lip. Before the 2-minute warning, the Lions do exactly what they needed to do, and it's going to be up to the defense now to get a big stop and give Matt Stafford an opportunity to tie this ball game up.
Montgomery.
Montgomery.
A fusion of
what
Matt
a combination.
Montgomery.
Beckford
getting it done today, and I can't believe that the Vikings defender who was underneath that allowed that to happen. That's a huge moment in this game. 2 minutes and 21 seconds here. The Vikings, this is the moment. Is Jack Gerberry a legitimate quarterback in the NBL? This is his moment. We put the pressure on him a couple weeks ago against the Seahawks, but the return team took that opportunity away.
Yep.
But we're going to get to see it tonight.
As a great point in the chat, you're blessed, 00 saying pressures on the Vikes. Yeah, they had the lead here. Now Detroit is breathing down their neck. Can they get a couple conversions? Probably need 2 first downs to put this one out of reach since Detroit has all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. 2:18 to go. It's Jack Gerberry under center. Dalvin Cook in the backfield. Gates going in motion from left to right. Looks like they're running a little counter play with Dalvin Cook. He's got some room on the left side. He's got the first down and more, but trips over Stephon Diggs down at the 39-yard line. That will take us to the 2-minute warning. And that was the big first down there for the Minnesota Vikings. Detroit, not a great job sealing the edge on that play.
No, and I think if Cook doesn't just catch the foot of Diggs, he's going to lower that shoulder and make a mess of that defender and probably be gone. So they're very fortunate that Diggs was just set up in the right position to trip up Cook just enough to stop that play.
1st and 10. A berth in the Season 30 Super Bowl on the line to face the Los Angeles Chargers. 2 minutes to go, and on first down, it's going to be Dalvin Cook taking the carry on the right side. Interesting here. Minute 54. Detroit letting some time run off. They're not using that timeout. Thoughts? Am I confused?
I think that they have confidence that they can score with 40, 30 seconds. So having those timeouts then compared to having maybe a minute or so with timeouts, I just think that they feel more confident in that situation.
Quick snap from the Vikings. They don't let it run down at all on 2nd and 10. They're going to look underneath. It is complete to the tight end, Dahlman, who's taken down to the 46-yard line. Detroit will use their first timeout. Look,
that's a good call.
Yeah, what I was more surprised about was the fact that Detroit has strip ball on. You have the ability to really face masks come from that so often. You don't really need a fumble per se. I'm surprised it was on.
Yeah, and I think that here on 3rd down, if Cook gets the ball, that could come into play. Not really sure, because like you said, they don't really need it.
3rd and 3. Cook going in motion over to the right side. They're looking for the screenplay. Oh, the defender had it jumped and just didn't make the play. Detroit will use their second timeout. A big first down for the Vikings, as Detroit's now going to be forced to use all their timeouts. I don't know how much time, if they're going to have any on the play, but Lip, that could have been the sealer.
Yeah, just too excited right there. Thought he could make a play on a different play or the quarterback and just did not read the play correctly, and now they're in this situation.
Cook around the outside. Nice tackle on the line. X-Swersing in the chat saying, I'll smoke you in Madden, though. Not that hard. A lot of people beat me. It's not that difficult. It's pretty pedestrian at this point. Play Lip. Don't play me. That's no good. That's why I do the yelling and the talking here, because I'm not in the playoffs, folks. 2nd and 12 for the Minnesota Vikings. It's Jack Gerberry under center. Minnesota's going to use the timeout there because they, I don't know, just want to talk about it a little bit.
I think that they need to reinforce Cook to not do one of those leaping plays that we saw that could have turned this game around early on in this game.
Blue
They had
Jackets,
feet on the ground.
Blue Jackets and Capitals going to overtime.
All right, I'll be tuning in afterwards.
Minnesota lining up in the victory formation with no timeouts left. 40 seconds. Yeah, that's your ball game. Nope. Yeah, that's your ball game. It's pretty much your ball game. They're gonna have to punt it, I guess. So, Lip, it is. I will say it is impossible for a big play to happen on a punt. It's absolutely impossible. No chance.
Oh boy.
No chance. No chance. No miracles happen on NBL Live.
Are we going to see the Wildcat?
I don't know. Well, depends what this punt does. He's going to have to kick this with about 8 seconds to go. 4th and 15. Will we have another miracle? Another opportunity to have another game of the year here on NBL Live. 4th and 15. 13 seconds. 12, 11. They're going to put this one away with 10 seconds to go. Up in the air. It's thoroughly into the end zone. It's muffed. It's picked up. 4 seconds left. Is it Wildcat time for the Detroit Lions?
I have seen Harvey Beckham in triple coverage at 5'9" make incredible catches and stay on his feet.
Yep,
Wildcat. I absolutely
it's Wildcat.
believe this is possible.
It's Wildcat time. Will we have a Wildcat miracle, folks? 1st and 10. Kai's covered in motion. It's going to be Wilson keeping the ball here on 1st down. He runs into his own man a couple times. He's got some room on the right side. He's got a couple men to beat. He breaks the tackle but can't break the last one. And the Minnesota Vikings will represent the NFC in the Season 30 Super Bowl 27-20. Your final score, Lip. It feels like, watching that game, the right team won because the Vikings were in control from the beginning. They played a great game and held on at the end.
Absolutely. So many times Stafford had opportunities and just made some bad passes. Some drops also from the receivers of the Lions cost them. But the big story is that Gerberry played a phenomenal game. Had just some beautiful plays. That play rolling all the way to the right, being patient, throwing it downfield to the left. I think we actually just saw it right there. Just an incredible amount of patience and determination to get past these lines and get into a Super Bowl. I know Hop's extremely excited, and these Vikings are going to have a tough match, and we're going to see a heck of a game in the Super Bowl.
It's time for NBL Live Player, the game selection for the NFC Championship game, and Lip, you said it. I mean, Javonte Turner had a great game. 6 catches for 122 yards. Diggs, 5 catches for 124 yards. But Jack Gerberry, 64 completion percentage, 321 yards, only 1 touchdown. But what he did on 3rd down, what he did when they needed a big throw, is the reason Jack Gerberry's got to be our player of the game.
Yeah, and tonight on both games we saw quarterbacks step up on 3rd down, and that's an absolutely huge moment that occurs so many times throughout a game. How good can you be on 3rd down? And Gerberry was phenomenal tonight, keeping drives alive, playing so intelligent and patient that I really have to give him a lot of respect for that, and is absolutely deserving of our Player of the Game award.
And so Jack Gerberry, your player of the game for NBL Live broadcast number 204, I think. go to our website, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. You can check out all of our player of the game selections. You can also apply to join the NBL under the Join tab. That website again, 365.maddenbomberleague.com. Lip, the Season 30 Super Bowl is set. It is the LA Chargers from the AFC taking on the Minnesota Vikings from the NFC. Two teams. The Chargers, a team that a lot of people are waiting to make that step and get a Super Bowl title. They have a good opportunity, but this Minnesota Vikings team with Jack Gerber and Dalvin Cook, it will be interesting to see who comes out on top of this one. CJ Slayer X in the chat saying, great league. When is the next game? Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern time. We'll be going live here on Twitch. It's going to be hosted by our friends over the EA Madden NFL channel, but it's going to be, you can come right here, twitch.tv/NBL Network. Lip, I don't think anybody really has an edge going into the Super Bowl.
No, if I had to pick an edge, and it's nothing it's really not play related. It is the unbelievable ability of the Chargers to make incredible halftime adjustments. I've seen them so many times just being completely dominated through the air, on the ground. Their defense is just getting killed. Their offense has absolutely no life, but the halftime comes, they make adjustments, and sometimes you can't even tell. It all comes together at some point in that third quarter. And that's probably the edge that I would give in this game. I think they're incredibly close. I don't think the Chargers have a great defense. I don't think Minnesota has a great defense. But both offenses are pretty good. I'm not sure what Melvin Gordon's status is going to be.
Should be fine.
Should be fine.
Bruce Sternum, he should be fine, but you never know.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be fine because we want to see these teams healthy into this game because the Chargers really rely on the run game. They were able to win the AFC Championship without Gordon. He went out on, I think, the first run of the night, and that's what I'm saying is these teams are so evenly matched in my opinion. But I think it's going to go to the Chargers just because of their halftime adjustments. I've seen it so many times. I think it comes up big again in the Super Bowl.
We'll see what happens Saturday night, folks. Again, 8:30 Eastern time, about there. We'll be going live. Hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button so you know when we go live here on twitch.tv/NBL Network. Of course, hosted by our friends over at the EA Madden NFL Twitch as well. You don't want to miss it. It's one of the biggest shows we have, folks. We'll have our Game of the Year winner announced. We'll also have our NBL Live Achievement in Media Excellence Award given out. And we'll have what I think will be a darn good game. But we appreciate you tuning in to Doubleheader Conference Championship Night here on the NBL Network. For my co-host Lip, I'm OSU. Once again, join us on Saturday night, 8:30 Eastern Time for the Season 30 Super Bowl. Chargers taking on the Minnesota Vikings right here on NBL Live.